Okay, we are live, everyone. Hello, happy Halloween, and welcome to the podcast. This is To Aru Podcast number 3. It's all very good to have you all here. I hope you're all excited for what we have to discuss. And this is definitely the biggest podcast we've had so far. We have a whopping 5 guests, including 2 new important guests. So I'll start with Tuni. Tuni, would you like to introduce yourself for people unfamiliar with you?
Yo, how's it going, everybody? I'm a YouTuber named Tuni. Go by the name of Tuni. I make a lot of To Aru based content and like anime merch. So I'm pretty new to the whole To Aru like community and YouTube. But I've been making a lot of recent content regarding like what's coming up for anime adaptations, just general content in general. So if you like that type of stuff, definitely tune in.
Yeah, definitely. You make really good videos. They're definitely very high quality production. I've enjoyed watching your videos there, especially on the Railgun videos you've done over the course of many months, I think. Because I remember I also checked out your earlier videos. I recently watched your index opening reaction video.
Oh yeah,
and I'm quite surprised. I never knew you were like a new fan until I watched that. So it's kind of cool to have. So we're all quite old fans here, especially Malcolm. We'll get onto that later. But yeah, it's really nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. And Zvivex, would you like to introduce yourself? I hope I'm saying that right.
Yes, correct. Zywex is here. Okay, I'm just first off. I'm Zywex, the YouTuber, the To Aru uploader for MAD, the MAD for music, anime, and video. Yeah. So I'm a Facebook admin for To Aru Universe. I'm the management there. Just post content every single day. Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely very committed to the fandom over many years.
Yeah, I've been a fan since 2008.
Oh wow.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Same as Malcolm then.
Yeah. The one of the oldest fans here, maybe.
Feel ya. I know that feeling.
Yeah, I start watching Index on the first day of the anime air release. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do enjoy your channel.
Yeah, my YouTube channel. Yeah. I didn't upload much these days because, stuff. I mostly upload videos from Nico Video. Yeah, and that's all about it. Like those if you ever upload on YouTube, I just upload them from Nico. Yeah, nothing much, but
yeah, but it's good though because a lot of people wouldn't have watched those mads if you hadn't uploaded them to YouTube. Because not many people are aware of.
Yeah, correct. Because I don't see many YouTubers like upload them, like for the English community as well as for the Japanese community as well. Yeah, because I see why people never upload. Okay, why not just upload them? Yeah, that's all. Nothing special.
Worries.
Yeah,
you're definitely special to us.
Okay, I'm honored.
You're more than welcome. Anyway, we've also got the regulars, Malcolm and Didi. I'm sure you're all familiar with these two. You'd like to say hi. Yeah, Malcolm's already said hi.
Glad to be back as always.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah, me and Didi have a lot of fun of an imaginary fest today, didn't we, Didi? Yeah. We managed to get Sogita Gunha, who just got added to the game today.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw Didi's video about that. He dropped like €90 or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's only like you hardly get any Dakota for that amount of money. You only get like, I don't know, 2 or 3 rolls for that amount of money, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. It was
kind of
already.
That's that. I mean, you've been waiting for Sugita to be added to the game for like over a year now, so you were just ready for that.
My favorite character probably like ever, so I thought Christmas is coming. I'm gonna give myself a little present.
Don't blame you.
Yeah.
Also, someone hates us in the chat for that, for our amazing pat look.
my first hate comment on my whole YouTube channel.
Nani, a first hate comment? Who did that? Okay. Okay, just joking.
So
I mean,
rite of passage.
yeah. People are just jealous. I mean, we often get like really bad pat luck, don't we, Diddy? But in this instance, we were lucky ones,
Yeah.
which is good. Yeah. All right. Shall we get started with the first topic? So, if you didn't know what this podcast is all about, I'll briefly explain what's going to happen. So, we are going to discuss the To Aru Project, which got announced. Was it over 2 years ago now? Because Index 3 started airing in 2018, October, actually. So it's been
I think it was
2 years.
announced 3 years almost.
3 years. Was it the year
2017,
before?
End of
Around
2017.
there.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of crazy to think about. I was really surprised to think it's because it's 3 years ago, but it feels like just yesterday. If you got what I mean. Yeah.
For me, it's
time
like-
travel fast.
For me, it's like 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personally.
I agree. To be honest, yeah, it does feel like a year rather than 2 or 3. But yeah. So this kind of like sparked new life into the franchise since we hadn't had an anime adaptation in a while. I think the latest one was like Railgun S in like 2013, 14. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it was quite a surprise for all of us. We all wanted it, and we finally got it. So let's reflect at how well.
Reflect.
Yeah, reflect with Accelerator's shield. Why not? Yes, we'll reflect with Accelerator, especially once we get onto his anime. Unintentional puns, have fun. Okay, yeah. So we'll start with Index 3. We'll basically drop our thoughts about Index 3. Was it good? Was it bad? And then on to Accelerator. And then last of all, but not least, Railgun T, which was the one that recently ended.
Mhm.
Yes. And all the voice actors were doing the T symbol with their hands. they like their T over there.
We can't do T pose here, but I just say T.
Yeah. T posting. Why not? At least I like T posting as well on the New Testament 18 cover. But yeah. Okay, let's start with Index 3. So how this is going to work, we'll basically talk one at a time because otherwise it's going to be very messy.
Yeah.
Understandable.
So yeah, let's talk about our general thoughts about Index 3 first, then we'll go into more detail and specifics. Why not? So who would like to go first about Index 3?
I could go first.
Sure thing.
All right. So when I started watching Index 3, I had no idea it was like a bad adaptation because obviously I was pretty new. So I just kind of watched it as I was going, not knowing it. All I noticed was like, oh, the quality kind of upgraded when you just look at it compared to the previous seasons. But I did start to notice obviously some problems. Let's say with the British royal family arc, how everything was kind of happening fast, and then like the battle royale arc was pretty short. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty enjoyable season for sure. I think the ending of Index 3 is probably my most favorite part, even though obviously it wasn't like the best adaptation. But as an anime season as a whole, I think it was pretty enjoyable.
That's very fair. I mean, I think you have a positive view on it, and I'm not sure we have a positive view on it. I think we're more a bit skeptical of it, but yeah, I have a question to ask you. You said, yeah, it's not necessarily good adaptation, but you did enjoy it. But did you ever feel like the way it presented the story was a bit confusing and
Yeah, I did.
like at times because
definitely, let's say with the British royal family arc, just a lot was happening, and then even during like World War III, just the way it like swaps between character perspectives happened pretty frequently. Honestly, a little bit too much to keep you like just kept on. It was very frequent and hard to really tell what was happening. But it kind of all just came together. But then I realized after looking into it more, like, oh, like this season had way more like volumes compared to the rest and more arcs. So after looking more into it, after looking like, Annie list scores, people opinions in the community, and seeing everything, now reflecting back onto it, I actually did a rewatch with my friend. And now I'm starting to notice more of the problems. Like I could tell there's definitely some missing parts in there.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, I think it's definitely a problem that's happened with the Index anime since the very first season in terms of how it decides to tell the story. Because even when I watched Index for the first time as an anime only, like I was quite confused at a lot of parts in the series, especially during the Magic Side arcs. And I think a lot of fans are like the same with that. But the problem with Index 3 is that Index 3 has the same thing where it doesn't really tell like a cohesive story at times. The presentation isn't that well done, but at the same time, at least with the earlier seasons of Index, it was like taking a bit more time with the story. It was the first arc of Index is the Index arc, and that had 6 episodes or so. But with Index 3, you're having like 3 episodes per arc, so it's basically half the amount of time we originally got. So it's rushing a lot more, and it's even suffering even more as a result compared to the other 2 seasons.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, well, yeah. Welcome to New York.
Anyway, Malcolm, what do you think about Index 3?
Well, I've talked about it a bit on the previous podcast, so I won't go too deep into it. I'm sure a lot of people have already heard. I'm really glad that Toonie could enjoy it. I'm glad that newcomers are able to enjoy the new season. For me, being a fan for so long, I had to wait that full term from the end of Railgun S to finally getting a new anime with Index 3. So I had really high expectations for it because they made me wait for so long. So it hit me a lot harder than a lot of people, I think, in terms of its quality. It was confusing, like even as someone who's read the books before. Like, I would watch certain parts, like the Battle Royale arc, and even I was confused what was happening, or just, like, enraged that they skipped out on some, like, important information. There was a lot of aspects. I think they focused on the wrong areas, or they wanted to make sure certain scenes got in for the wrong reasons. Or just they included random filler for no particular reason, like in episode 1 where Index meets Oyafune for a waste of screen time. But I wasn't particularly happy with it. But I'm glad that some people were able to enjoy it. I think the dub makes it a lot easier to understand what's happening, since I've watched it both subbed and then I watched the dub when that came out. But yeah, wasn't a big fan overall. But yeah, that's really it for me.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. Like, obviously, yeah, if you enjoy it, that's fine. I mean, I did enjoy it, not gonna lie, because I was just happy to see, all these characters are like animated. But obviously, I wasn't expecting it to be as good as the light novels or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. But at the same time, yeah, I was disappointed that it could have been treated a lot better. Like, we'll get onto Railgun T later, but if Index got the same love as Railgun, that would have been a whole better experience. Yeah.
It really needed another season. It just needed World War III to have its own 13 episode season, probably, just for the last 3 novels. And I think that would have just improved it a lot, because all the other episodes would have gotten an extra episode, or arcs would have gotten an extra episode or 2 to sort of breathe and not cut out so much information. Because a lot of the stuff got cut out leaves open like plot holes, or just makes everything seem really forced. Like Birdway showing up at the end of World War III is not. It seems much more of a Deus Ex Machina for Toma to have survived at the end of Index 3. So just a lot of the content cut out really overall affects things, and I think it'll affect a lot of Inti if they do decide to animate that, because there was some important information that would have preferably been needed to do a lot of the Index New Testament stuff, especially like you had your video on Toma's precognition recently, and how the anime sort of I can't even tell if they added it or not. It's sort of suggested that he may have it fighting.
No,
Fiona.
they didn't edit it.
They didn't.
They didn't.
Fiamma said something in their battle where it sort of was like hinted, I felt like, that he had it. He was like, "Oh, you were able to predict my move," when he slapped the hand away, slapped the hand away, and he was like, "Oh, you're able to better use your right hand to adjust other people's moves or whatever." But yeah, that's just that.
Basically, poorly executed.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
The Tone or Accelerator fight, for example, was one of the highlights of how not to do an adaptation.
true. Anyway, would Diddy and Zvivex like to drop their thoughts?
Oh, you want me go?
Yeah,
next?
if you want to go first. Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
sure. First of all, to summarize everything, full of disappointment. Yeah, that's my honest feeling. So to say that, okay, at first, like for the first few episodes, I give industry a chance. Like maybe okay, the openings are great. Opening Index season 3, 1 and 2 are great. I love the music. But as time goes by, it doesn't age well. Yeah. So okay lah. For pacing wise, it's poorly. It's very poor. Yeah. You guys can agree with that or no?
I agree 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, for especially it hit me the hardest when during the World War III arc because I really love the arc. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of fans are like who read the novels. Because I also read the novels, read entirely of the novels. Then Battle Royale arc and World War III arc are the most two important arcs for the Index series as a whole for the Old Testament. Yeah. Okay, so now the voice acting are great. I like them. Like they did well their part. For the directing wise, it's no. Yeah. Before I forget. Okay, why am I supposed to talk again?
Oh no, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay.
But, yeah, I agree with you. Like, obviously, the entirety of Old Testament is built up to build up towards the World War. I mean, it's foreshadowed since like Old Testament 6 when Sherry's invading Academy City.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so it's introduced like, well, it's even the idea of a world war happening is probably even earlier, in like the Deep Blood arc, and when the magicians, Kanzaki and Style are entering Academy City and they all have to do it. And there's the loose cannon, which is art, and they have to take care of that to avoid any political tension. But yeah, it's supposed to be the climax of this, but but the way they built up to it, especially the latter half of Old Testament, is really important because that's when things get serious. But the way they rushed through it wasn't very good. But yeah.
But I also like check all the fan reaction and like every single day, every single week when I was doing some admin work, like checking the fan reaction, like all over social media, Twitter, Facebook, 4chan as well, or definitely. so yeah, there's a lot of some positive reactions, some negative reactions. So yeah, I've been checking everywhere. So that's all about it.
No worries. Diddy, do you have anything to say about Index 3?
Yeah, I'll try to say something different from you guys to make it a little more
spicy.
I mean,
sure thing.
Most of what you said, because I agree, but I'll try to say something more personal. I'm pretty sensitive to what people think. Like, I'm the kind of person to go on my Animalist or 4chan or Discord and read what people think of the episodes. And I mean, I kind of enjoyed Index 3 when I watched it because I love these characters and I love to see them on screen and move and do stuff. But like, what's it called? It got like so trashed on the internet. I mean, these people, they were right, but it kind of made me sad, and
Agree.
it kind of ruined part of the experience. Though I agree about the disappointment. Like before it aired, I used to say when Index 3 comes out, you'll see that it's better than Index 1 and 2 combined. I wasn't even in the mindset like if it's adapted correctly. I was sure it was going to be like so fucking good. I mean, sorry for the curse word, but like it broke my illusion so hard. No, if I even get like Index 1 or 2
Yeah.
level adaptation for like NT, I'm gonna be happy because of what we got. Yeah, that's
We waited like 7 years for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of broken man I am after Index 3. Yeah, that's all I have to say, I think.
Yeah. Sorry, Tuna, you're outnumbered, but it's good to have differing opinions, and this is what it's all about.
Yeah, correct.
Of
Yeah,
course.
for sure, definitely. I think it's great to see, especially I'm like very new to like the whole series and everything, to see my input on it, because I think it's very different for most people. Because most people obviously they like read the light novel, the source material, they know like what to expect, and I can't even imagine like the older fans waiting 7 years for like a pretty poor adaptation. But honestly, I think it just tells the story really. Obviously, there could be improvements, but if you want to have a brief the story, I think it's great. I wish it was better, obviously, for more benefits to happen for the series, like a New Testament. That obviously that would affect it. But I think overall, it's not that bad as people say. I just think people because I read the subreddit a lot and like aminos. I think people are a little bit too harsh on it just because like the popular topics, like the main topics, the go-to thing as like anime fans. So I don't know. Honestly, I think it's watchable. It's enjoyable. Definitely, it's not like omega terrible. Like it's a great experience no matter what, as you see it as a bad adaptation or just an anime only thing.
Yeah, I can agree with you mostly on that. Yeah, it is enjoyable. I mean, I was watching it every week when it was airing, and yeah, I mean, it was something to watch every week, and I did enjoy it. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I didn't enjoy it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have continued watching it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's this, the franchise I love and all the characters and the events at the end of the day. And yeah, it's not the most terrible thing. It's not like Tokyo Ghoul Season 2 or anything like that.
Yeah, oh my god, it's so horrible. Don't remind me of that.
No, that was a mess.
Yeah.
Not only Season 2. Personally, I don't like Season 1 as well.
Yeah, I mean, they did.
Because I follow the manga as well. But for the last episode of Season 1 is great, but for the rest is garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read a bit of the manga and they cut out like a lot of Kaneki's training, but yeah. Anyway, we're not talking about Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get sidetracked. Yeah, no worries. All right. Yeah, so let's talk about more specifics to do with the next 3. So, shall we do it on a arc by arc analysis kind of thing, or would you like to go over like story overall and like plot and characters, music, whatever?
Yeah, I think story overall will be better, so we can talk more about it, I think.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about story overall. So yeah, touching upon, I mean, we can talk about the story itself or the way, we were already on about this, like the way it's been told. I mean, there's quite a difference between that, because obviously the story itself is really good. I mean, with Index, you've always had like an episodic kind of plot in a way, but past, when God's Right Seat are introduced, you do have the continuous narrative. I kind of touch upon this in my light novel review if you've watched that. But yeah, it kind of changes from the build-up volumes from, Index Season 1 and 2. If you haven't read that part, that's what I'm talking about. So those volumes are more like episodic arcs in a way. They're like standalone, but obviously you have elements that feed into each other. But once like Vento is introduced and God's Right Seat, then it becomes more of a continuous narrative towards World War 3.
It went to the bigger scale.
Yeah, and I feel like the stakes are raised because all these foreshadowing into World War 3. and the Roman Catholic Church seem to be trying to start a war, and you kind of see that in the document, Constantine document arc with Terror of the Left, where he's trying to use that spell to make people want a war and stuff.
Speaking of God Right seeds, who are your favorite God Right seeds? like among these four?
Well, if you've seen my Twitter,
Okay, I know. I will not talk about it.
no, I mean, originally, funny enough, Fiamma was my favorite member when I first read it. But then, yeah, I kind of grew attached to Aqua. I don't know if it's because everyone started seeing me as like, oh, you look so much like Aqua, and it got to my head or something.
Oh no.
I don't. Maybe it's the next. No, but I've always liked Aqua as well. Aqua's always been a really good character, but yeah, I always struggle to rank one above the other because, I mean, they're both really amazing villains, but they're a bit different to each other because, you know, Fiamma's more the political figure who, you know, wants to. He's more the religious zealot, and Aqua's not really that much into religion. He's more trying to, you know, help people regardless of, you know, beliefs. He's just trying to do the right thing. He's more allied towards Britain. Yeah, his main objective is Britain and protecting people rather than, you know, the Catholic Church or the Anglican Church. He doesn't really care about the church factions, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, personally, I like Fiamma. I like Aqua a lot. But Fiamma tends to be my favorite just because I'm a fan of the sort of puppet master kind of characters that are controlling everything behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So Alistair, Fiamma, characters like that, I tend to really attach to, especially just with how grand scale his plan was and just sort of how everything is carried out all the way up to the end. Made me really like him a lot. So for me personally, I tend to like Fiamma the best.
That's fair. Toonie, who's your favorite God's Right seat member?
So probably Fiamma, because I just feel like he's probably, as in the anime, he's like the end boss. Like, you know, he's like the final one going like down the list. And he just had more like as a plot. Like he really was like, as you said, he was like behind the scenes plotting everything. And I feel like the build up for like the final of the Index 3 was great. So he's probably definitely my favorite.
Yeah, one thing I like about Fiamma is that he gets Index involved in like the main plot of the story again, because we hadn't really seen that since like the very beginning. So yeah, he makes the conflict about Index, you know, steals Index's controller, and then Toma has to, you know, try and save her. And at the same time, Fiamma learns that, oh, Toma's been lying to Index, and then Fiamma tries to mess with his head a bit, and that brings up a new conflict potentially between Index and Toma, because Toma's thinking, oh, what if Index never forgives me? But yeah, once World War III is concluded, then Index says she knew all along. That concludes the very first arc of the series. So I like how the end of Old Testament ties into the very beginning. That's one of the things I like about that Fiamma's impact on the story.
Yeah, he definitely felt like he utilized everything that was sort of built up really well. From the story to that point.
Well,
Didi, I think your favorite God's Right seat member is Aqua, right?
Yeah, Aqua is in my top 6 favorite characters from To Aru. If I had to tell a reason, I mean, it may be pretty shallow, but I just think like Aqua is so cool.
Hell yeah, he is.
Like a double Jesus, basically.
Double Jesus.
Like super fast.
I heard about the meme like a lot of time in the community.
Yeah. I really like Aqua, and the fact that it's like, yeah, as you said, trying to do the right thing. He's not a heartless antagonist. He has you know, honor and stuff, so I like it.
Yeah, like when he kills Terra, that was just like
no mercy.
Nice.
I wonder if there's anyone with Terra as their favorite God's Right seat.
Only Giga Chads.
He's
like
the favorite
Terra
to me.
Yagyo.
Yeah, he's up there with Viaggio in terms of being just one of the meme characters.
You sensoru.
I do wish we could learn more about him because like him being sort of like a serial killer, like a religious serial killer, that seems like a really interesting concept, and I would have loved to seen that get explored a bit more, or even like had played more into the story of that arc. But I mean, he was there for information overall.
Mhm.
His ability was cool.
Oh yeah.
I do like his ability. He's really creative. Being able to change the precedence of different objects to make your skin harder than another object, or magic weaker than your body, or whatever like that. Yeah, or sand.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him fight more like varied characters. I would have liked to see how he would handle fighting other characters in the franchise.
Just not Saints.
Yeah, just not Saints.
Okay.
Like
So-
Index 3, his
yeah.
power was kind of like reliant on anime talking logic,
Mhm.
like speaking faster than bullets and stuff. But I mean, in the light novel, it makes more sense.
But yeah, on the topic of characters.
I haven't thought
Who-
about mine.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so my favorite Gorite Seeds member is Fiamma, of course. Because at first, before I was a light novel reader, my favorite is still Fiamma. Yeah, because of the character design, the sinister look, like the villainous look, like this guy looks very nice, like the villain kind, like the final boss of the Old Testament. Yeah, that kind of look that like Toma had to fight against him. So yeah, then after that, after like few years later, that I finally get to read the novel, and then it blew my mind. Yeah, yeah, really blew my mind. Like I like how he like in the light novel, he sliced a mountain. Using a long flame sword to slice a mountain, but in the anime it doesn't do that. It disappoints me a lot.
Yeah.
Oh
just like
yeah,
building.
I was upset
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Then before I get to know like before I read the novel, I keep hearing memes about like him being more powerful than Goku or Saitama, but not before Saitama. Yeah, and so on. Yeah. Also, my another favorite Gorite Seeds is Vento. Without the piercing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I totally love the design. Yeah. For those who don't know, you go check out like Vento without the piercing. It looks gorgeous. In my
Her without her nun habit, she looks like I want to see more of her. She would be my
Same.
favorite if she showed up in the novels like that. Best 10 out of 10 girl.
Yeah, agree. Then for Aqua, okay, kind of neutral, but
Oh damn. That's insulting.
No. I'm not saying he's bad, but he's okay for me. But I like his character design. That's one thing. Like he carrying a huge sword, all those. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like before I read the light novels, all those like. And for a least favorite is definitely Tiara for me.
Poor
Terra.
Terra.
Yeah. but in the anime, I like the voice acting.
Yeah, voice actor was good.
Tara was just fun to watch because he's just so he's got such a crazy design. So he was just funny to watch. The anime was his best appearance.
Like in the light novel, he's very cool and he does dirty things and so on and shit. Yeah, that's all about it.
Yeah, so let's move on to, well, since we're on the topic of characters, I mean, we've already discussed our favorites out of God's Right Seat. So in Index 3, who do you feel like were the best characters and who were the worst? I mean, you can talk about the novel if you want, but if we're talking about Index 3 in a way, So I feel like most people found Accelerator to be the best character again this season. But yeah, even though Accelerator, I don't know, I felt a bit weird about Accelerator in this season. I mean, he definitely had really great moments, like the scene where he does the magic spell. Like that was really well directed. Yeah. And it's like, am I science or magic? Am I man or monster? You know that scene? Yeah. That scene was really well done. That was one of the best scenes in the anime overall. Like I was like, damn. I mean, I even included that scene in my Accelerator video. That's how much I liked it. But yeah, worst characters. I mean, we could say terrible. I mean, he is entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't know. Misaka. I mean, Misaka
let's not put the mind over there that to blow up the entire fandom.
Yeah, try not to know. No. Well, get what I mean.
Imagine
let me justify myself. Okay, right. Listen. Okay, so in World War, right. Okay, I could rant about how little she does do in World War 3, like even in the novels, but in the anime, they even cut a lot of that out because Misaka does even more stuff in World War 3, but like some actual action scenes. But they just made her like chasing Tomo, and it was like really lame. So that's why I say Misaka. I don't mean to offend any Misaka fans. I know you are very passionate about your character you all love. So I'm not trying to say she's the worst. I'm just trying to say they could have done a lot more. I know. All right, okay. I'll let someone else speak.
I actually agree with you about Misaka, at least for this season in particular. Like, I don't think Misaka's a bad character. And like, whenever I'm talking worst in this, I mean like worse written in terms of the anime specifically. Misaka felt very pointlessly shoehorned in because they removed all the reason for her to be in it. Whenever she goes to World War III, she doesn't really do anything except have that scene with Toma on the Star of Bethlehem. But they even sort of messed that up because it was supposed to, like, I loved that scene whenever I read it. Because back whenever I first started reading the books, I was like big into the Misaka ship. And I really did like that scene, but it was only like 50 seconds in the anime, and it felt like it loses a lot of its dramatic impact. And so a lot of her scenes that do show up, it feels like it's just there because they wanted that fan service because Misaka's popular. So they need to be able to sell her. So like after Toma fought Terra and she overhears everything on the phone, they changed the scene from in the novels she's just like reacting from where she was on the phone, but they changed it to her in the shower, like naked.
Correct.
Yeah, so that felt like really they just shoehorned in a lot of fan service for her, and I felt like she was only there for fan service a lot of the time.
I mean it sells. You can't blame them.
I can't blame them, but I can blame them for removing all the reason to include her. Which like it sort of ruined it sort of plays into that whole, a lot of people think Misaka is sort of useless in Index a lot of the time, but they sort of remove all the time she is useful in the anime. Especially in World War III. So for her, I think Hamazura also got hit with the poor writing bug that they had. I like Hamazura a lot, but
Same.
I don't think anybody who watched the anime is going to, or like very few people who watch the anime are going to go out and be like, Hamazura is my favorite character ever.
True.
I mean, I see some people like Hamazura for anime only.
Yeah.
Ignoring the bad parts. Yeah.
But
I seen most of the community like, oh, he has the plot armor. He's really
exactly. And like to a degree, Hamazura does have a lot of plot armor even in the books, but it's much better justified in the books, and that's sort of the point of his character. Is he's the one who sort of won't sort of work into Alistair's plans, or like he sort of goes against Alistair's plans a lot. So, but in terms of the anime, I just don't think he was developed very well. His relationship, like he had a lot of development in the Battle Royale arc. Whenever like he's disposing of the body, for example, or whenever he meets up with I forgot his name, the Ninja Man guy,
Hanzo.
whenever he meets up with Hanzo, there's like a lot of character development, and it's like his relationship with Skill Out and all this, and it's just gone.
Yeah, but before that, like for those who don't know Hanzo, like Hanzo is like basically in the light novels, or he doesn't adapt it in the anime for Index Season 3.
Poor Hanzo.
Yeah.
He suffered.
He's
Hanzo.
best buds with Hamazu.
Even for the Railgun T, or
Yeah.
He wasn't in Railgun T either.
He was cut out as well for the ninja part. I think for me personally, he doesn't have a voice actor, so maybe that's why they cut him out for that reason. That's my theory, lah.
But yeah, it's just the problem with cutting out a lot of these characters is that it ultimately when they do show up, it feels like a Deus Ex Machina in terms of the universe, because it's like, oh, why does Hamazura suddenly have this friend out of nowhere that we've never heard of that's like saving or like playing this big role in the story or in like a big arc? But it's just a lot of the characters that didn't get enough screen time weren't very well put into the story. As for like who was best, it's hard for me to say. I really don't know who I would say is best. Probably Accelerator. Though any arc with him was extremely confusing because they had to cut out so much. Battle Royale, Dragon, World War III, all his scenes were sort of like, wait, why is Accelerator doing all this? I guess Accelerator and Toma just is a result of having the most screen time. For the best. I felt like Fiamma could have used a bit more screen time to sort of clarify his plans.
I agree.
And I don't think people got the full impact of how awesome Aqua can be.
I agree as well.
Same here.
And then the Vinto fight with Fiamma was also just sort of that happened. Didn't really play a role into anything.
Yeah.
I think like Fiamma's ability like misunderstood a lot in the anime, so it doesn't present well compared to the light novel. Yeah. Fiamma
was a really good like parallel to Toma as a character, which I think is one of the reasons Kamisato wasn't received so well, because he was supposed to be the parallel to Toma, but we already had that in the series, but better. Yeah, I guess in terms of best character, I would have to say Toma and Accelerator, though it could have been better. And for worse, probably Misaka and Hamazura. And there's characters that are technically worse, but they had so little screen time. Like I could say the Professor was the worst written character in the series because he removed all of his screen time.
I mean, he's just a background character. I mean,
he gets 3 lines and he's dead. So. Worst characters, everybody involved in Battle Royale who wasn't part of group or school.
Item as well?
Yeah, sure, why not? Item was bad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Anyway, let's let Toonie and Diddy have a chance to have their say.
All right, so I think Hamazura was a bit interesting for me because it was interesting because like obviously he was at the final episode of Index 2. But he was pretty promoted heavily. Like he was even on the Index 2 Part 2 Blu-ray cover when he was on like a 1 episode. So when I was going to Index 3, I thought it was a bit different because I wasn't expecting him to be like have such a main focus of the story. And I was like watching it, it's like, oh, just a level 0 like Toma. So I definitely saw like why he was included, like a parallel to Toma. I think it was great. I felt like it was a bit weird. I definitely felt like he was plot armored heavily, because especially the situations he was in. This felt like a bit much like he put himself into it. Then the story just helped him out. Like I feel like he was just in the position at the right time. I felt it was a bit weird and forced, but it definitely was still good. I think Accelerator, in my opinion, was probably the best character. Probably just because of screen time. Toma was great as well. They both had like probably the highest moments of the entire season. Oh, there goes New York again. But yeah, so yeah, Hamazura, he was good. I wasn't expecting to have such a main focus like equal to like Accelerator and Toma, for example. Like he had a lot of screen time, but obviously now knowing he's like a main character, it's more interesting. But in the beginning, I thought it was a bit forced, but I understand that. And Misaka, as everyone was saying, yeah, felt a bit forced. Like, I didn't realize when you mentioned how Misaka was on the phone sitting there, but in the anime they had like a shower clip. I had no idea. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh no.
So I wish Misaka did have some more involvement and just the screen time that wasn't put in, because she did felt a bit forced, especially in World War III. But yeah, and I think Fuyama was good as well. I definitely like to see some more screen time. But overall, like, I understood him. He wasn't terrible. I think he was great. Just could have used a bit more of a push. But overall, wasn't bad. I think Hamazura was a bit forced in the plots and everything, but wasn't bad at all.
That's very fair. I mean, yeah. Does anyone want to defend Shiage look? Because that's what Hamazura's plot arm is called.
Like personally, like because before I get to the light novel, like Hamazura Shiage, like I heard many memes from the Japanese community side. Like, he's the third hero, he's the third main protagonist. Like, what the fuck is going on in the Japanese community? Like, been hearing about, like, yeah. But he's like the third main protagonist. Okay, I'm okay. Interesting. So yeah, few years later, I get to read the novel. Okay, I see why they are interested in him, like invested into him as a character for the third main protagonist of the Index series. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it.
No worries. Yeah.
Then also,
sorry.
yeah. Then after that, I really start to like him. So, like before, beside the plot armor part, I like how, like, the firearms, like the equal between like Accelerator and Toma. Like, Hamazura have these firearms, and the other one is his close combat skills. Like, for Toma side and Accelerator side, yeah, like, it's a balance between both of them. Yeah, then I start after a few years later, I start to cosplay him as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about
Nice
it.
job. Your cosplay is really good.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anyway, Didi,
Yeah, so
your time has come.
I kind of agree with most of what you said, but I mean, like, Hamazura is probably like one of the characters with the worst treatment in Index 3. Like, his first fight with Mugino was kind of butchered by the anime, I think. I mean, second and third were alright, but the first one was bad. Like, his development was cut with Hanzo, and yeah, it wasn't really like. I mean, even the reason why he's in love with Taketsubo was cut. Kind
Yeah,
of.
I noticed that too.
Yeah. So yeah, but I don't really agree, like, with Misaka being one of the worst, because I mean, like, her scenes in World War III being cut and all the fan service being added, it was bad. But she has, like, two of my favorite scenes from Index 3. The one in the Aqua arc with Toma, and the one with the plane with Toma as well at the end. So yeah, I rewatch these. I often do, because, like, I don't know, they feel great to watch. Like, there's a sudden high in directing or something. But yeah, apart from this, I think the best one is definitely Accelerator, as you guys said. He had the best scenes, the best development in the season. Yeah, I can't really add much. You said all I.
All right, no problem. Yeah, I want to say something about Misaka. Okay, so yeah, I know Malcolm said, like, Professor is like the worst character. Okay, yeah, and we all know, like, Professor or whatever, or anyone Battle Royale who doesn't really matter. Okay, fine. But yeah, if we look at who are the main characters of Index, you know, you have Toma, you have Accelerator, you have Mazura, you have Index, and you probably have Misaka after that. Yeah. And out of all of them, you could probably say, I don't know, everyone likes to hate on Index in the anime, so But I mean, at
Vital.
least she was important
Vital.
to the main plot. But that's why I said Misaka, because she's meant to be one of the main heroines, and she doesn't have much relevance to the main plot. So that's why I said that.
Actually, since you mentioned heroines, this is probably more evidence that these two characters that just popped into my mind, Itsuwa and Lesser, they both
let's talk
played
about
much more prominent roles. They were supposed to be big for like shipping fodder, but the anime sort of screwed them over big time, especially Lesser. Lesser should have. I was expecting there to be like a lot of like Lesser fans showing up after Index 3, but I don't think I've ever seen one since it aired. But Lesser
is like the minority, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they played bigger roles in the novels, but they had so much cut out that it sort of sidelines them further as heroines, especially Itsuwa. She had a lot of really good scenes, but after the Aqua, the back arc, she sort of, I think, maybe shows up once or twice in small cameo scenes after that, and that's it. And then Lesser didn't really get to do anything in World War III. Half the time, it felt like she was just gone from the scene, and you didn't know where she went.
Like for the light novel, I have a good laugh when Toma lecture Lesser for hours, like about rude stuff. I kept laughing at that.
Lesser was a really fun character in the light novel, so I was really excited to see her in the anime. Then they just sort of sideline her, and she like goes there with Toma to Russia, but then stops existing half the time.
Yeah.
So, and like she was supposed to give some information, like whenever he's fighting Accelerator in their third fight, and it's just sort of she was gone.
Well,
so they're pretty poorly written. Maybe Lesser was the worst in terms of writing.
For the anime?
Yeah, for the anime.
How about the light novel?
I love Lesser in the light novel. She's
Okay.
funny in the light novel.
Okay.
Yeah, she's entertaining, but she's not the deepest character in the world. Like,
yeah,
yeah, she's all right as a sidekick, I suppose, occasionally, because otherwise her being horny all the time does get quite annoying.
But I like her motivation in it. That it's not purely just like she's in love with Toma. She's just like, I can use him as a tool and make New Light great again.
Do remember? Yeah, kind of. Do remember she's underage, so she's underage.
So is Toma, though.
Yeah, it's legal.
I mean, like more underage. Like think of that, like Kuroko level.
Toma's 15.
Well, yeah.
Remember, if you read a doujin of Toma in it, you're going to jail because he's 15.
Oh no.
Anyway, so yeah, shall we talk about the animation of Index 3, or do you want to talk about the Accelerator anime now? It's up to you guys.
We can touch on it a bit. I did want to say, because I know a lot of people didn't like the animation. I noticed a lot of people, when they talked about the animation, they would just pause it at like a random action scene or like a fast-paced scene. Like when Toma was falling from the plane in episode 2, I remember a lot of people were like, look how bad the animation is. And it's like a screen cap of that scene and Toma's face is all screwed up. But what a lot of people don't understand about animation is that you have to show motion through the picture. So making it look messy whenever something like a character falling from the sky at a rapid pace, whenever it's actually playing out, it doesn't look that bad. But whenever you're pausing it and like, oh, look how bad that looks. It's like, it's not every scene in an anime is made to be like a wallpaper for your computer. It doesn't all need to look great. There were parts, of course, that weren't well drawn, just in general, like bad key animations. But I don't think the animation overall was as bad. And the Blu-ray does fix a lot of the bad animation. Like the Or
Yeah.
one of the most infamous ones were in the preview for the next episode of Battle Royale with Kakine's face sort of looking all pointy or weird.
Oh no.
I remember.
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
they fixed that in the next episode, but it sort of stuck just because everybody saw how bad that looked.
Yeah, they had to fix it. I remember.
But yeah, I don't think the animation was as bad. There was clear like spots where it could improve. Like I remember a part in the last episode, or the episode before the last episode, where like Toma's on the Star of Bethlehem and it closes in on his face, and just out of nowhere, the animation on his like Toma looks like really nice, like how I expected it to look. And like he's
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he just looks like really well drawn all of a sudden. And I was just like, wait, where was this animation the whole time?
I noticed that when I was making my Fiamma video.
Yeah. So there was room for improvement, and I felt like they wanted to improve, but it was just so short on time that they had to make sacrifices. But overall, I don't think the animation was like as bad as people make it out to be.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you because the animation itself is pretty fluid. I mean, I kind of touch upon this in my Index Anime thoughts, I guess. But yeah, people don't understand the difference between animation and like the art they use or like the stills at times. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's like I definitely think the CGI could have been better in some of the CGI scenes. But yeah, for like the background stills, I thought most of the background stills are pretty good. Like the Star of Bethlehem looked really good. But when like Gabriel was introduced, then the background kind of looked kind of bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
Yeah. But the way things moved seemed all right. It's just that they didn't put a lot of detail into the character designs at a lot of points. And yeah, they was kind of like half-assed. I think the art of Index 3 needed to work the most, especially on the characters. I think a lot of the backgrounds were good. Some of the backgrounds weren't as good. It was very, very inconsistent. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, anyone else want to talk about it?
Because go Didi, go first.
All right. It's pretty weird, but like I have the opposite opinion from you guys.
Oh.
I feel like some stills were really good, like art-wise, but the animation was like really stiff. I mean, we had some fluid animation, like for example, the first part of the Accelerator against Kakine fight, the first part of the Aqua against Night Leader fight, but like, yeah, even the first part of like Kanzaki against Aqua, but like really I thought most of the animation was really stiff, and that made it like really underwhelming.
Yeah, some of the fight scenes weren't great. Animation.
Yeah, you couldn't feel like the impact.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I get what you mean, because in a novel, like when you read like the Satan fights, like Aqua versus Kanzaki or like Night Leader versus Aqua, it kind of felt like you were watching something from like the Ufotable, well, reading something like it's kind of weird because, yeah, I mean, in terms of like when you picture it in your head, that's what you imagine it is. You imagine it like the
I had the same feeling as well.
Yeah, because when you see like the Servants fight in that, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Fate, but I can appreciate like the animation quality for that. Like the fights are like so quick, and you see so much stuff happening, and that's kind of what you imagine in your head because these are like Saints who can destroy mountains, moving at like supersonic speeds, and they're like doing all sorts of crazy destructive powers, and oh my god, it's ridiculous, like the scale of it, and that's what you imagine it in your head. But yeah, it's kind of hard to match up to that in animation when you don't have when you don't put a lot of budget in it and you put it towards Railgun T instead.
What else do you have to say, Didi? Because I don't think you got all your thoughts out.
I think that's most of what I had to say. I mean, I could probably talk about this for like dozens of minutes, but that's like the very condensed way of telling what I have to say. So yeah, I'm done probably.
So yeah, if I had to say, only if everything looked like unlimited budget works, but it didn't look that bad. I feel like the strong point of Index 2 is definitely the scenery. like when they like pan to like scenery moments of Academy City and like the hyper realistic backgrounds. I think it looked great. I did wish the characters fit more with the such realistic backgrounds, like during the Accelerator and Dark Matter fight. Just like still frames of them talking looked pretty rough. But other than that, it felt fluid. I didn't notice any like super like crazy flaws. I definitely saw some like pretty moments where the artwork didn't really fit with like the scenery. But other than that, it was pretty good. Not too bad. You could see an improvement from like the year between like the 7-year gap. You could definitely say, oh, this is a newer season. And especially the animations and the openings were great. Like if you just look at opening 2, that's like peak. It's really great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like towards the end of Index 2, the art style for that was really good. I think that's the best art style Index has had so far, if you exclude like the movie, because the movie had the bigger budget and better animation. But yeah, if you talk about like the art style itself, like in the end of Index 2, when like, you know, the Academy City invasion arc and the skill out arc, those like the character designs and like the backgrounds looked really gritty, and it definitely suited Index a lot. I think, especially for like the dark side art, it looked really cool. But yeah, they didn't really continue that art style with Index 3, which they decided to go with a more generic art style, which is fine. But you occasionally saw it now and then. But yeah, for the openings, yeah. Especially Raw, like the second opening, the animation for that was really good. And I find it funny how in like the first opening, Gravitation, like Kakine's wings aren't CGI, but then in the actual thing,
Yeah.
They put all the budget on the opening.
Yeah, I don't know why they did. I mean, I don't know why. I'll just leave it at that. They know why, but I don't.
Do you remember how long delayed the first ending was? Like it took them forever to actually have the completed version, because I guess they were behind on animation for it. So it was just like a still of Index for a while, and then
that scenery,
and then like 5 or 6 episodes in, suddenly there was like a full ending to the song.
I found that weird.
Yeah, I get the feeling it's because of how far behind they were. I doubt that was intentional, but yeah, there were definitely issues on the background.
So may I talk now? Yeah. For animation wise, because I'm very observant, because I used to make EMVs in the past, so I'm take notice of each frame animation. They like is kind of obvious for me. Yeah, I know it's bad or good. Then only good animation part I like is about when Accelerator does the white wings. It does very well for that part. Yeah, it goes according well with the novel as well. Only for that part. Other than that, it's horrible. Yeah. There are some parts are good, some parts are bad. That's about it.
Okay. I think we need to move on to the next anime. So we're 1 hour in already. That's gone pretty quickly.
All right, sure.
No worries. I mean, we'll have less to say about Accelerator, because Accelerator is only 12 episodes and only was one arc. So we won't be talking about this for a while. So we'll be able to get onto Railgun T relatively quickly, I think.
T.
Yes, the T pose.
Can I have the chat like to say T? Anyone?
I remember when people thought it was going to be called Railgun D, because D would be for Dai Seizai. But then we found out the S actually standing for the Sisters arc and not for Railgun Second. It standing for Railgun Second. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Way too logical. Like S for Sisters and Silent Party, and then D for Daiha Seisai and Dream Ranker.
Oh yeah, I never realized both the arcs stand with D. That was a missed opportunity. Huge missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I think it's
doppelganger as well. Holy shit!
I think it's
Wait,
because
what?
everybody expected it to be D, and they're like, "Oh no, we can't meet everybody's
Bro.
expectations. We got to surprise everyone." So we're
That's
T.
such a coincidence, though. All 3 arcs stand with D.
Yup. And then we got Railgun season 4 and 5. Like, what they gonna do there?
They're just gonna go through all letters of the alphabet. Yeah, they're gonna have to use F twice. Just hopefully it's not an F-rated anime.
F and
But
F2.
if the Jailbreaker arcs gets any worse, it probably will be an F. But that's another story.
Oh.
Press S for respect.
Press F for the Jailbreaker arc. Oh no.
Oh, the
Anyway.
chats are going crazy about it. I see F, T, Railgun FT, whatever.
Anyway, what do we think about the Accelerator anime? I'll let someone else speak. Yeah.
Accelerator was a welcome surprise for me. I had very low expectations because the manga is so bad. I was sort of worried whenever I saw it sort of had a different art style compared to Railgun and Index as the main series. It had it didn't cross over quite as well as those two art styles did. But they introduced a lot of things, they cleaned up a lot of things in the anime. I think fixed some flawed character writing that was in the manga, added some actually good filler content that expanded upon and improved upon the manga. Anybody who's read the manga knows it's not the best thing ever at all. The writing tends to be bad. The art looks rushed. And it's super hard to follow. But the anime actually fixed a lot of that. In terms of being an adaptation, I consider it like the best adaptation of any of the series because it's actually improves on things rather than cutting things out. So yeah, I really, really liked the Accelerator anime. It's not my favorite. Like the arc itself, I'm not a big fan of like the direction it goes, but I do think it's good as an anime.
Yeah, for real. I really enjoyed the Accelerator anime. I did like the first, the Necromancer arc is the first arc of the manga. Yeah, and I did enjoy the manga, but yeah, like you said, the art was definitely probably the worst out of all the Railgun all the To Aru mangas there are, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, I enjoy it for what it was. It's not, like you said, it's not the best To Aru story ever, and yeah, I don't mind the Necromancer arc because I really enjoy Esper as a character. And I do like Hishigata as well. But yeah, I mean, this I don't know if you've all read it. I'm not sure if you've read the manga Tuni, but the second.
Yeah, I read it.
Oh, have you read the second arc?
Oh, I just read season 1. I do own the volumes though.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, but the second arc is probably it's not good at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
It's very stretched out.
It's called the Nectar arc, and I don't know what because with the spin-offs, like Komachi sends his overall ideas to the mangaka, and then they kind of expand on that. So I don't know if Komachi was smoking something like really strong, or if Arata Yamaji was. Like, I'm not sure what the hell they were doing with the second arc there. Like oh my gosh, but yeah, they added a lot to the Accelerator anime, which I thought was great. They added more backstory to Esper and the Hishigata siblings, which was definitely really good. I enjoyed that they fleshed that out a lot more. I think that's what made it a better adaptation because we kind of got to understand the characters more. So yeah, I really like that. But what I don't like, my little nitpick with the Accelerator manga and anime in this arc is that they kind of imply that there's a, Last Order's romantically in Accelerator, and if you've read the epilogue of, or not the epilogue, but the afterword of Volume 22, Kamachi explicitly says that what Accelerator wants is not a lover but a family, and that Last Order and Accelerator are like father and daughter. So it must have been Arata Yamaji's idea to imply that there's something there, and it's like, oh my god, why? What are you doing? No, don't do that.
Kamachi supposedly leaves a lot of the character writing up to the mangaka. He like gives him the story and like a basic layout of what he wants, from what I understand, but then he leaves a lot of character development and stuff. Obviously it's somewhat guided. He's like, I want you to develop the character into this specific thing, but he gives him a lot of leeway, and it really shows by how Arata writes characters, and especially that relationship of Last Order and Accelerator being very questionable. But yeah, I agree with you with that.
Yeah, so my opinions on the Accelerator anime, I think it was great. So for what it was, I actually read the manga after watching the anime, and I'd say the anime definitely improved on it. So the art style is pretty much different, but I felt like it was a good change because it fed Accelerator more. Obviously, it's a bit weird, like going from Index 3 to going to Accelerator's art style, then back to Railgun. It kind of hard to fit in, but it fits in decently enough where you still know it's like To Aru without just seeing Accelerator's face on it. And I think just the art style in general, the more darker tone was great. What really stood out to me was like the soundtrack for Accelerator, because Accelerator's theme in Index was great, and like Dark Hero and Accelerator for Accelerator's theme was also like really good. So I was surprised it was able to match that or even improve it. And just the fact how all the characters had their development, they had their fleshed out time, and just the way the story progressed. The arc was nothing too crazy. It wasn't the most in-depth To Aru thing there, but for what it was as an anime with just a single core, it was great. I really heavily enjoyed it a lot, and it just as an Accelerator fan, just seeing just talking in general between Last Order and Accelerator is always a treat to have. And the anime did great. The animation for the fight scenes were pretty well done. I thought it was really fluid, and just the tone of the whole story fitting in with the OST was just great in general.
Yeah, I feel like the animation did get a bit dodgy towards the end, but I think they had did they have an issue?
I think the animation director got sick or something during the second half.
That's what I heard. Yeah. Well, initially,
it's the staff issue, like the manpower issue.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, it was
because of the COVID-19. I think, am I right? No, right?
I think that started during Railgun 3 at the beginning of Railgun 3, because I think a lot of Chinese companies that do sort of
outsourcing.
Or Railgun,
because they announced it around, I forgot already. It's around episode 8 onwards or 7. I forgot already. But yeah, they have issues with manpower, like for the better animation and so on. It started to improve somewhere after the scavenger arc.
Yeah. And also like the ad. Let's say if I want to get like someone into To Aru when the show is about, my go-to is a show like Accelerator versus Scavenger, because that fight was so well done, and they like all explained how like Accelerator is the #1 while showing these cool fight scenes. I just wanted to point out like there was some highlight moments in there that's just worth showing. Especially the opening and ending was great, especially the ending theme. In my opinion, it's probably like the best out of all To Aru.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, but I agree with you on I agree with you on the scavenger scene. The scavenger scene is one of the best scenes out of the Accelerator anime. That's such an entertaining fight scene. It's just like, I mean, it's kind of like reminiscent of the hound dog scene, but less brutal because he doesn't kill them. But yeah, it's just fun to see Accelerator just have a bit of fun and just mess around with some weaker opponents and just completely destroy them, humiliate them.
That scene made it all worth it.
That's always an entertaining watch. Yeah, because that's kind of what we wanted with the Accelerator manga. But a lot of the time we don't see Accelerator that often, and we don't really see him kick ass. And like obviously Accelerator's key character moments are on Index. Like if you want the best Accelerator moments, don't go for Accelerator anime or manga, go for Index. But for when we heard about the Accelerator manga, we expect we want just pure entertainment with Accelerator of him just dicking around on helpless victims. But that was one of the few occasions where I actually got that to and in like that extent, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So yeah. So may I speak now?
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So my most favorite thing is about Accelerator anime is like the opening. Shadow is a light. Yeah. So like every day, every week, I go with karaoke with my friends. So I always choose Shadow is the light for it. Like yeah, my friends like stop.
It's
I
a
like the
great song.
I like the song. So yeah. Then for Accelerator, I prefer the anime than the manga because of the art style. Yeah, it improved from there. The directing, the pacing is okay. Then I'm a big fan of Esther because for many reasons. First
Whoa.
thing, yeah, and also because I like her also because of the Accelerated Idol manga. She's very cute. Yeah,
Oh.
she's adorable. I mean, for those who never read the Accelerated Idol manga, you should read it. I recommend it. Esther shines way from there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. And in the anime, yeah, fan service. I like it. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I like the scavenger fight. It does really well. The animation is very fluent, and I mean, it's really really good. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend Idle No Accelerator. That's one of the best parodies of Toaru I read. Like, it's so funny, and yeah, it's definitely worth a read, and it's only a short read as well. And ironically, it's better than I mean, it's not canon, but it's better than the actual Accelerator manga, which is
Partly
quite
canon,
funny.
partly canon.
Partly canon. Yeah. Not sure, but I'm
Well,
not sure if Accelerator became an idol or not. But
because
yeah,
spoilers ahead, but yeah, we shall not go details to that.
yeah, better not because we have.
Because it reference from the extra body manga, yeah,
Ah, yeah,
about
okay.
being canon or not.
Anyway, Diddy, Accelerator anime.
Yeah, the Accelerator anime, I thought it was good. Like, it looked good up until like the midpoint of the series, kind of like the middle. And I liked how the final conflict with like the 10,000 deaths and ascending to a higher kind of being. I thought it kind of related to something in late New Testament, maybe. So I thought it was actually more interesting than maybe most people thought. There's a I'm having trouble with my English right now.
Yeah, it's okay, it's
There's
okay.
there's also something else I wanted to say. What was it? Um, yeah, I felt like that one episode with no accelerator in it and just the backstory of Ishigata and the sister and Estelle. It was filler, but it was great. Like, you can't have a decent arc without fleshing the characters. And as I said before, I always read the comments everywhere, and like most people were like, "Where's Accelerator? I want to see Accelerator. I want to see him kick ass."
Oh no.
And I thought like, if you remove like, even they were saying this when Estelle was being a more prominent character. So yeah, they really wanted to see Accelerator, but like, if you look at the Nectar arc, which is like pretty bad, you don't have a secondary main character like Estelle. You don't really have anything else than Accelerator kicking ass, and it doesn't end up good. So I'm glad they added some fleshing of, like, I mean, some development for Ishigata and stuff, because it really made the arc better than it was, and maybe they'll do that for the Nectar arc. If they do a season 2, and maybe it will be like better than the manga, even though I'd rather they do something else than Accelerator season 2 if they do a new anime. But yeah. That's what I think about Accelerator.
I mean, if they make me care about the new characters that were introduced in the Nectar arc, like, I will be absolutely amazed because that'll be some miracle. I mean, yeah, the Nectar arc was definitely missing Esper, I think. But like, just talking about that, yeah, I didn't care about any of the new characters that were introduced in that arc. I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry.
Too many characters.
Yeah, but yeah, it's.
You didn't like Kazuna Ai?
Yeah, the Kuzana Ai twins. Oh my god! Like, I can't remember a single thing about the characters other than that they're really like depressing and they're like being experimented on or something. Or yeah, I don't remember a single thing about the arc.
For those who don't know, like there's a character like who designed exactly the same as Kizuna Ai. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
That was one of Arata's original designs. That one wasn't a.
Oh, what a surprise!
Yeah. So the girl with the tiara, I can't even remember her name. The princess-looking girl. That one was a. Oh gosh, I don't know how I just forgot his name. It slipped my mind. Who's the artist for Index?
Himura.
Himura. That one I think was one of his designs, but the Kizuna Ai looking girl was one of Arata's original designs, and it's pretty clear why Arata
original in inverted commas.
I think he must have fell into a rabbit hole.
Because I originally thought it was Kinuhata because she was like wearing short shorts and she had a hood, and other people thought it was Kinuhata as well. But oh no, it's not. It's Kizuna Ai.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And she had the Rasengan.
Oh yeah. What are you thinking? What? I don't understand. Why? Why does it exist?
Ask the artist.
All right, I need to do a video, like a huge rant video about that arc.
We can talk this about another day. We can talk this about another in your video, so that to save content.
I'll talk about it then. Yeah, but I'm gonna do a video about that
because guys, it will take.
I'm gonna destroy it.
10, 20 minutes. Stop. I don't know. Depend you. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get another beer. So if you'd like to talk about the anime, then go ahead. I'll be 1 second. Be right back.
So what shall we talk about?
Regarding the anime,
no!
But like,
I think it's Aeon. No, right?
I can give you some ideas.
Well, sure. Just
Rather than ditching you. Okay, so yeah, in the first episode we had like it wasn't canon. It was like a filler. Like it wasn't in the manga. I feel like that reintroduced the Accelerator as a character. So
okay.
Do you want to talk about that or what about the main conflicts of the arc or anything to do with that?
I did like the first episode, sort of how well it represented Accelerator's sort of tsundere relationship with Last Order, with the cupcakes.
Oh yeah, that was really good. I like the OST that popped in like in and out. Like when Accelerator like first got introduced and he was like falling down, then it stopped, but then when the action stopped, like it stopped, like came back right at that moment when it stopped. I thought that was good as well. It was very fitting.
I thought it was a bit weird how like openly he used his abilities though, because I never really like imagined Accelerator being someone.
Yeah, that's true.
In front of a bunch of people, fall from a skyscraper and just land and be like, eh. Yeah, he never seemed like somebody who wanted to stand out publicly.
I mean, it's Academy CD for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, unless in the real world they will definitely panic, but for Academy CD, experts are everywhere, so they don't mind about it.
Yeah,
it makes sense that way.
Yeah, I just sort of figured like because he has so many enemies and people who want to fight him, he'd want to keep a low profile because he wants to minimize hurting people, even if he doesn't show it.
I mean, they don't dare to challenge him. Definitely, it's not good. Yeah.
I do have a question. What do y'all think about Accelerator like fitting into the timeline of the series? Because I always felt like it didn't really fit very well. Like,
I mean, for me, whenever he's around, he shines. That's the good thing about it. Like if you use him too much, then it won't be very good.
yeah, I just felt like there was a lot of content crammed into like what's supposed to be only a few days. Of like the Accelerator anime fits in like really tight into the timeline because it's supposed to be right after, sometime between getting shot in the Daihase festival, I think. And it's only like a couple days or something. So like all this stuff happens and it feels like the anime takes more days than it should to fit into everything. So I always felt like as a series, it felt like something the higher ups like approached Kamachi and were like, hey, we need you to write an Accelerator series because he's popular. And he had to like scrounge up some storyline real fast.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
Okay, I'm back. I just want to drop a nitpick I had with it, which I'm really annoyed about.
Uh-huh.
All right, you know the final fight at the end, we know where it's like Isaac Rosenthal comes back with the golem thing.
Yeah.
Golem.
We don't
okay.
see the Alistair cameo.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
were the Index one too. She was also
Yeah.
at the same time, but that also didn't fit into like the timeline because she was supposed to be gone. I think it was during the Minus rescue arc or something.
And surprisingly, Arata Yamaji wouldn't have done that research.
Well, he also included their NT uniforms before that would happen.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was in the Nectar arc. That was dumb.
Yeah, Misako was in her winter uniform and Tomo's wearing his NT clothes, and it's just like, wait, we're still in summer or autumn or whatever. They haven't.
We're still technically in like the early stages of Index Season 2.
Yeah, so it's like, how would they? Why does Accelerator imagine them wearing their new clothes?
I mean, I think just random. Not, but I don't think too much about it. So yeah.
Alistair probably showed him how to use the tarot card of being able to see the future.
Controlled time vectors.
That's not a vector, that's a scalar. Once Accelerator gets level 6, you'll be able to control scalars. You hit it here first.
Potato.
Okay, are we all done about Accelerator?
Kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Let's move on to Railgun T, which should be fresh in everyone's memory.
T.
Yep, so, yes, T.
Okay, everyone in the chat, it's Misaka time. Get hyped.
Since you're so hyped, why don't you go first, Toonie?
Oh, okay. All right. So I thought Railgun. All right, but yeah, I thought Railgun T was great. I felt like it perfected what Index 3 tried to do with animation. So, like with the hyper realistic background and the characters, I felt like it fit very well. It just wanted, like, I feel like if Index 3 tried to do that, how Railgun T perfected it, it would have been much better. But Railgun T overall was a great season. The Daihase Festival definitely one of the peak points of like all To Aru, especially with Railgun Ts. And I just really liked the introduction of like Gunha. It was great, and especially Toma had a lot of like parts in the Daihase Festival arc as well. I do think, like, compared to the hypeness of the Daihase Festival and to the second half of Railgun T, it was a bit different because of like the tone. But I do want to say I'm very happy it was not filler, like compared to the previous 2 seasons. That's definitely always great to have like a full canon season of Railgun. What was great, it was definitely interesting to see the delays due to the COVID-19.
Mhm.
But overall, I felt like it was handled very well. They took the breaks needed. They didn't try to force staff. They didn't try to overdo it. And just had a fluid season throughout all. I didn't notice any problems. Like, not really too much. The little filler that they did add all made sense. And it felt like it had a purpose. Just like the little things. And I thought it was great. I definitely, the Daihase Festival reminds me of like the Sisters arc. Pretty much it was like more darker, a lot of action, not too much of like slice of life. And those are the type of stuff I really enjoy out of To Aru. I feel like Railgun T definitely perfected that. If they were trying to like replicate another Railgun S, so it did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I just thought it was a great series, a great season. All the characters that were not introduced, but like all the characters included into the story had their purpose, and it felt like it wasn't overdue. No one was like shoved in, especially like the Kuroko fight. Like I feel like to have a Kuroko like into the story, but the way it worked was great. And then obviously like Misaki played a huge role, and it just worked well. It was cool to see like Misaki more introduced. It was interesting though, since like Kongo was like first like introduced in the Hasei Festival, but obviously since like the Railgun filler and how that worked, the like Misaki, it was all interesting, but it worked out well since they reintroduced Misaki. But I thought it was great.
Yeah, I agree. It was really good. As you said, the animation was really amazing. It's clear that Railgun T gets the more love than Index, but I mean that's because of Railgun is just more popular in like the Chinese market, I think. So that's why they put more effort into it. It's kind of a shame because Index is meant to be the main story, but that's just the way things are. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy it got good animation because the Daisei arc in Railgun is a really entertaining arc, like you said. Definitely a lot of interesting things happen in the arc. Shoko gets fleshed out as a character, and we basically get introduced to her fully. I know she got a little cameo in Index Season 2. Oh, no. Railgun Season 2. It's hard to keep track. And they had to do the whole filler thing to reintroduce her. But, yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's only a short scene.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I liked some of the filler they did introduce, like in the episode 1 where we had Sugi's introduction. I thought that was a great introduction for him. Definitely. I mean, we hardly ever get to see him, and it's just nice to have more scenes of him generally in whatever form we get, to be honest. Because even in the manga and Index light novels, we hardly ever see him. But yeah, it was solid. Yeah, I also enjoyed the Dream Ranker arc. Obviously, the Daisei arc is quite climactic, so they kind of have to start from like the lesser stakes. So they kind of started off slow with more comedic slice of life, with the Dream Ranker thing being introduced, but then the scales go up again a bit with the Doppelganger arc, and yeah, I enjoyed that, and that had amazing CGI, that fight.
Oh yeah!
Oh my god, that was incredible. Probably the best CGI I've seen in a while from anime. But yeah.
Well,
Who wants to go next?
Oh, me?
Sure.
Okay, so what are we talking about again? So the Railgun T, right?
Yeah, just
what we thought about Railgun T.
Okay, so basically my thoughts about Railgun T is excellent. I like it. The pacing are great. I mean, the directing for the animation are very good. Then for art style wise is okay. I don't mind like the art style because it's animation. Yeah. Then for what I don't like about it, not much lah. Yeah, if the fans are happy, I'm very happy as well. Yeah. For every time I see each episode, I see the reaction of fans. Like I enjoy it. Yeah.
Did you like the ending to it? I mean, the ending of the actual anime. Yeah, not the ending theme.
Ending of the Railgun T?
Yeah. On the
I
last
kind
episode.
of neutral about it, so it's okay lah for me. Yeah, not much to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like it was very safe. They could have done a lot more with the ending, I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great way for me. It's a great way to end lah for the next arc. I think. I'm not sure.
Really? They didn't foreshadow anything towards the next arc.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't foreshadow anything. So they just kind of like. I mean, they had the little Misaka Moto scene, which was nice because that was new, but at least we got some conclusion with that. But yeah, it just kind of like set things to square one again, and it's like, okay. I mean, it's still more story.
Speaking of foreshadowing, like for me, I disappointed like for me, Railgun T never get the Liberal Arts City for the adaptation. Yeah, I kind of sad for that, but it's okay. Like it's just nice for the Dahase's festival arc and the Dreamhacker. It's just nice fitting well for the pacing for the entire 20. How many episodes again? 26, right?
25, I think.
25. Yeah, 25 episodes. Yeah, it just fits right there. Like not too much, not too little. Yeah.
They are going to have that extended final episode, I think, for the Blu-ray, because they said they had to cut out like 5 minutes for the airing, or like to air it. So I do think we'll get some of the final parts that were removed, like the hopefully we'll get to see Nokan.
Bro, I'd still
I
be
don't-
annoyed though cutting him out.
I mean,
for Blu-ray.
personally, I don't mind Nokan or maybe other anti characters not being in the Railgun T, because it's for me it is unnecessary for those who only watch Railgun and never get to know about Index. So I think I think personally they made the right decision there. Personally lah. If not, it's a bit out of place. Like suddenly, why this character out of nowhere? Like won't show maybe anti-anime for like New Testament anime for like 10 years later, then suddenly, it'll be a waste. Yeah, it will be a waste.
I like having it in there because it sort of just shows that this character exists in the world before they ever show up in like the main series. And I like having that sort of established, like, oh, by the way, while this is all happening, Academy City is this whole world that's going on at the same time as the series. So it makes the series feel more alive, and like there's more going on behind other than just what the main characters are seeing, which is something I like.
Because because of the like New Testament characters, like they probably don't have the voice actors for it. Like because you see some characters like change voice actor because of the voice actress like health issue, I don't know, or accents, hiatus, all those. That's why they make the direction for that.
But with To Aru, if I imagine they sort of get a better idea of who's gonna be the established voice, since there's so many like NT.
Because there are too many characters, so yeah,
true.
Like put in money. You have to put in money to the seiyus, all those. Yeah, you have to count that on that. If not, it will be a waste of money. Like to put in more, then it won't be relevant for maybe like few years, decade, maybe. Yeah. Because Nokan like is very far. Yeah, it makes no sense to put him in the Railgun T anime.
Yeah.
Like that's all about it lah.
Diddy, I'm sure you enjoyed what Railgun T had to offer.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that my favorite anime from To Aru Project was Railgun T. My favorite Railgun season was Railgun T. And maybe even my favorite To Aru season as a whole was Railgun T.
Is it because of Sugita by any chance?
It's not even only because of Sugita, but
I find that hard to believe.
I've been waiting for years for Sugita in the anime. Like, I'm a To Aru fan since like 2013. I've been a Sugita fan since 2014 or 15. I don't really remember, but like I even have a Sugita Gunha Gmail address that I used everywhere. I'm that big a fan of him, and it was like mind-blowing seeing him, especially in episode 11. Like, yeah, it was just so great. It was, I don't know if it was just the hype, but it felt like the whole episode was just Sakuga and like so good looking, so fluid.
I love it.
Yeah, the anime captured Gunha really well.
Yeah.
Not only the animation and character, also the voice acting as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Like it exceed my expectations.
Yeah, he did really good. especially with the yelling the attack names thing.
It's so funny and amazing at the same time.
I was really hoping Todd Haberkorn was going to voice him in English. That was sort of my dream role for Gunha for years.
I never watched a dub though, but yeah.
Yeah.
How is
it?
the dub for Gunha?
They have I can't remember. I don't think he's that like much of a veteran voice actor for Gunha. I know like the biggest role that I can think of him having was one of the characters in Dr. Stone. One of the main characters in that. But he's good. I mean, he's good as Gunha in the English dub, but my dreams were dashed a bit for just who I
Yeah.
wanted.
Well, in any case, like, I mean, I'm a big fan of his, but it's not even the only reason why I prefer Railgun T to the other seasons. I mean, like, if Sister's arc in Railgun S was this kind of like thriller with a small cast, kind of. I mean, if you look at the main players at the end of the arc, it's Accelerator, Toma, Misaka, and the clones. But like, I mean, Daiha Seisai is this big, kind of an ensemble movie. Like it's like the Toaru endgame with like, I mean, you have 3 level 5 in the climax. It's huge. You have so many characters, and they're all doing their own thing that actually matters. And yeah, it's just like the perfect ensemble arc. Then you have Dream Ranker, and I feel like it was great, slice of life wise and comedy wise, but also it gave us a lot of cameos. I think like Railgun got its nickname Cameo Gun during this arc because of all the cameos, like from Item, etc. That was really enjoyable. Then the Doppelganger arc. I mean, the way it was done, it was really great with the kaiju battle.
Oh
And,
yes, I love it.
I mean, like Railgun T compared to, I mean, Railgun in general compared to Index, I feel has a much better production values. Like just the anime, I mean, the direction, the art, kind of, the animation. I mean, maybe some people will say that S was more consistent than T, animation-wise or quality-wise, but the animation in T was just so flashy that I don't know, it just feels better. And well, apart from that, yeah, I just feel like it being like 2 canon arcs with great animation, great art, a lot of characters, new really hype characters like Sogi Tagunha, for example. I just feel like it's the best Railgun season. The pacing is great. The atmosphere is great. Everything is great about it, really. And yeah, I think it's better than S. Some people will say that S is the best, but I prefer T. So yeah, that's what I have to say about it.
That's fair. I mean, it's whether you think the Sisters arc is so good that it outweighs everything in Railgun T, because I don't think anyone in like thinks the
T.
Silent Party arc is that good.
No.
Yeah, because Railgun
Silent
T is more
Party is
consistent overall. It's kind of like what Toonie was saying, because the past 2 Railgun seasons have had a second half, which is filler, basically. I know Kamachi kind of tried to make them incorporated into the canon, but I don't view them as canon at all.
Yeah. May I say something? Like a drop
Sure,
off.
yeah.
Like Reagan S have more Misaka screen time than T.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because they left a lot of the characters out of the Sisters arc. because it's so heavily focused on Misaka, and since that's like a big psychological thing for her, and her purposefully distancing herself, it makes sense that that arc sort of had more Misaka, especially like Didi said. Railgun T was a lot like an ensemble cast where everybody sort of played a role.
Well,
I think it's interesting, like the way. I mean, I see kind of. I mean, not that many people, but some people complain about like Misaka being the kind of damsel in distress in the sisters arc,
yeah.
and then I mean, kind of a damsel in distress, but I'd say more of an opposing force in Daiha Seisai. So yeah, it feels good for. I mean, she's the protagonist, so
Yeah.
Overtaken by Toma, the side
when
character
he
of
takes
Railgun.
out the doppelganger, you're like, damn. Especially with the kaiju, like it's just a good climax for Misaka as a protagonist, I think.
I really disagree with Miska being a damsel in distress in her sister's arc, because she was like doing everything herself, and that was like the whole point. She didn't want to tell anyone about it, and
I mean,
yeah,
for
but,
just for a short moment only, like.
yeah, but okay, when she's considering to sacrifice herself to stop the project, and then Toma says, "Okay, I'll handle it," but
Like-
she rejects him. Like she was, throwing lightning bolts at him. She didn't want him to get involved. Like you can't tell me she's a damsel in distress when she does that, and also. She's the one who basically saves Toma's ass by convincing the sisters to work together to turn around the wind turbines to stop Accelerator's plasma nuke from blowing up everything. So she's actually the one who saves Toma in the end. So you
Yeah,
can't.
that's a fair point.
She's not a damsel in distress in that arc. No.
I mean, you know, like some people, they don't really like acknowledge the effort made by every party in the arc. You know, like
Yeah.
some people complain about Toma having the final punch, and that means like it's again Toma that solved the situation. But really, like, I mean, I won't talk about like the latest light novel volumes, but it's obvious, even if Toma does the final punch or whatever, that everyone involved did their best, and that Toma could only win because of their efforts. So yeah, I agree with you that she's not a damsel in distress. I mean, if Gunha saw what she had done, he'd say that she was pretty gutsy.
Exactly.
Pun
But-
intended.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Toma does get the last punch quite often, but yeah, it's like in the Aqua of the back arc. I mean, Toma initially got his ass completely handed to him by Aqua. He got chucked in that, water.
Like
Oh.
a ricochet.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, and then he's so beaten up that he can hardly move, and he's still going at our hospital. And Kanzaki fights Aqua, and then the Amakusa join together, and then they realize, okay, we have to work together to defeat Aqua. And yeah, I mean, Toma doesn't get the last hit in that arc. Itsuwa does.
Yeah.
Itsuwa. And Itsuwa's
think-
badass because she can stand up to God's Right Seat members who are like have angel level spells, and it's Itsuwa. Itsuwa has the guts to take him on. So
Oh
yeah.
no. Oh no. How are you going there?
I think it's partly because everybody looks at like who does the finishing blow is the hero of the story. But if you really examine Index, there's more arcs where Toma only wins because of like teamwork. Like he wouldn't have won if it was just him. The Ursula Aquinas rescue arc,
Hmm.
the Kazakiri arc, there were aspects of that where if Kazakiri wasn't as active in that role, he wouldn't have gotten as far as he did. It's just a lot of the arcs, and Toma doesn't do everything on his own, but because he gets the final punch on the bad guy, everybody's like, oh, he's the main hero. It's the sisters arc. Toma wouldn't have won if Misaka didn't play whatever role she could have. Which I think that's just people focused on they're so hyper focused on the final hit that they completely ignore everything that built up to the final hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Thomas like became a meme, like punch all those, and yeah,
Gender equality.
Yeah.
And the
because for
Endymion
those
movie
for,
touched upon it. Yeah.
yeah, for those who like don't know Toma, like the for non To Aru fans, like, oh, how you know him by like, oh yeah, gender equality man, I think. Yeah, punch. Yeah. So on. Yeah. Oh, for Railgun T wise, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm not sure what to talk about. So yeah.
No worries.
Okay. Like anything to talk about?
Yeah, we were talking about Toma saving the day at the end, but yeah, we kind of got sidetracked because we started talking about Index rather than Railgun.
Thomas saving the day. Yeah. I have nothing much to say about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Thomas,
I just gave an example where, he doesn't get the final hit with the Akko, the back arc. Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of the earlier arcs, he does get the final hit.
because I think other people already say like Thomas have many situations that he doesn't save the day, like more on teamwork. Yeah. Like in New Testaments, like he never did much punching. He just like, solve problems. That's all. Yeah. And
yeah, on the topic of Toma, let's talk about, I know what to talk about. Toma's role in Railgun as opposed to Index. That's always an interesting discussion.
I've always thought Toma was cool in Railgun. Like at the beginning, he's more of this like mysterious character. If you've only watched Railgun, or if you started with Railgun, it's like, wait, who's this guy? I think Railgun somehow captures some of his personality better than the main Index anime does.
Yeah, I agree. When seeing Toma, I feel like all the like Railgun fans get like really excited when they see Toma. And like even like when Hamazura popped up, I saw like some tweets like, "Oh, is this guy supposed to be important?" Because this is Railgun only. But it's always funny. And then Toma, when it's in Railgun, it's always great because like he always has some involvement with Misaka, other than just the whole story as a whole, and everyone likes the shipping of Misaka and stuff. So when Toma is introduced in the story, it just generally just boosts up Railgun as a whole because that's what the people like.
I was sort of disappointed with season 1 of Railgun for the anime. They sort of remove a lot of Misaka's character flaw moments that existed in the manga. So her relationship, like Toma was supposed to be sort of a foil for her in that, where she was like really overconfident. But they removed a lot of the scenes that included that, like her perspective of the bridge scene from episode 1 of Index. Or whenever she meets him outside after he gets off of school the next day, and he sort of like scares her and like makes her doubt her own abilities, or just how quickly she's willing to abuse her powers. Like in the first chapter of the Railgun manga, she shoots the railgun just because the guy got her shirt dirty with her parfait or whatever it's called. Whereas in the anime, she's just like, she sees them hit Satan and gets mad because it's like, you hurt my friend. But they remove a lot of that self-doubt she has in the anime and some of that, her willingness to abuse her powers in the anime. So she's a bit more Mary Sue-ish, I guess. Not completely, but to a degree. So her contrast with Toma doesn't work as great in the anime. But I've always felt like he was really one of the highlights.
Silence.
Oh, no.
I think we all are just amazed by that insight that we agree silently.
Maybe.
Well, yeah.
I sure hope so.
No, but legit. Yeah, I think Misaka is an interesting case because we all know, or may not know, my opinion of her. But I really enjoy her in Railgun. I think she's a good character.
Oh yes, I think I want to say my perspective about like
Sure.
I'm okay about Misaka. Okay, firstly, I used to be a very hardcore fan of Misaka. Yeah, I buy a lot of figurines for her. Before I start reading the novel, manga, or those,
Yeah.
I was anime only. So yeah, I was a big fan of Misaka. Yeah, ever since I start watching Railgun season 1. Yeah, it's I find her like ever since I start liking her around season 1 episode 4 about the bikini scene, the swimsuit scene, like the Yahoo, like I don't know, yeah. Yeah, after that, like I grown into her, I start becoming a fan of her, like yeah, save every single fan art of her like I used to be in the past. Yeah, after I get to read the novel, I start to change my perspective of her like a lot, really a lot. Then yeah, then after that I get to know more about her, then more about the fans, like perspective of her. Yeah, it's a life changer. But like became a hardcore fan, become a like so-called neutral lah. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all I thought about Misaka.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, I think her role in Index doesn't help with that. I mean, she's definitely a better character in Railgun. I think most of you will agree on that, if not all of you. But yeah, as Malcolm was saying, that probably in Railgun season 1, she feels a bit Mary Sue-ish. I kind of get that, but yeah, I think the sisters arc does so much for her character because yeah, it does. Even in the anime, it does make her more of a flawed protagonist.
Yeah, the end of Railgun T2 really shows off sort of where
T.
T.
Don't mind me.
It really, I think, it shows off sort of. She's still flawed. How she handles the finale, or how she handles the final villain at the end. You see a clear difference of how she and Toma sort of would carry things out. But I think it was a good thing. It still shows she has a lot of development to go through, and that she is a different character and not just Toma too. But yeah, I think in terms of the anime, season S and T do a much better job of presenting Misaka as a flawed and interesting character than season 1 did, where she's just she's the level 5 Esper.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Misaka during Index season 1. Yeah, like I just like she's just another side character of like, because I start watching Index like the first day of airing, so like it's a side character. Okay, then after Railgun anime come out, okay, is this something interesting? Okay, yeah, she became a main character. I start invest on her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because like you don't see many female characters like being a main protagonist, then and shines a lot. And
yeah, you don't see a lot of female characters outside of like slice of life.
That's why you see why Railgun is so popular. Yeah, because of the it's kind of unique compared to many series. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that supernatural and slice of life, especially in the first season. Of course, it's got a bit of action here and there, but yeah, I mean, Index. No, not Index. I keep saying Index when I mean Railgun. I'm so stupid.
Oh no,
that's the big mistake. All right, Railgun season 1 is quite different compared to like all the other series of or seasons of To Aru. Yeah, it does probably have the most slice of life. Like, it does feel a bit weird, like Malcolm kind of touched upon. I mean, probably it had a lot to fill up. I mean, I do enjoy. I enjoy the big spider guy. I forgot his name. Like Kuro. what's he called? I keep forgetting his name, but
Wait,
he's awesome. He needs to be in the actual manga,
That was like the only good filler arc from Railgun.
bro. Just watching him like take on like the skill out guys, like he was an animal. He was so cool. Like, and I liked his relationship with Kanori as well. I really like Kanori as a character, and she doesn't get much screen time in the manga
But
at all.
imagine him with an Imagine Breaker.
Oh, Kurozuma. Yeah, thank you, Neros. Yeah, Kurozuma. Thank you. Yeah, and he loves milk.
Like,
And he was kind of like me because I used to drink loads of milk. Fun.
But suddenly he's so cool, like for the spider guy. Yeah.
We have him to thank for Mi's assets.
Oh
yeah. Bless him. He's the chat.
He is a Chad. He's come back. Like if he like okay, finish the Jailbreaker arc, do a new arc of Railgun, bring him back. That'd be hype. I would be hyped for that. And he's like a minor character.
I don't think I think Kamachi forgets him already.
Oh, I need to find his email address on Twitter and be like, hey, remember this guy?
Nah, I doubt it.
I mean, you mentioned Kihara Terrastina Lifeline in New Testament, so surely you remember this guy.
Nah, I doubt it.
Oh.
Like you see, look at Isaac, like he never been featured until like many volumes, like Antenna and so on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Someone just said in the chat, imagine him and like, he said Gunnar, but I think he means Gunha. Imagine Kurozuma and Gunha teaming up.
Oh.
That'd be hype.
Like Didi got anything to say?
Yeah, what would you think of that team up? Would you like it, Didi?
Well, it would be spectacular, I think.
Do you think Sugita would like have some admiration for Kurozuma?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the guy is pretty gutsy.
Yeah, do you think he'd get...
Doing that.
Do you think Kurozuma would share his milk with Sugita?
Oh no.
I don't really know what kind of effect it has on guys. Maybe he could have a bit like...
Kurozuma drinks it and he's pretty ripped and he like takes on like loads of thugs at once, so I mean it must...
Oh no.
I guess for women it expands the mammary glands, but for guys it just makes you into a complete monster.
Well, it contains protein, so yeah, it helps with the muscle building, I think.
Yeah, definitely it's got that protein and dairy, strong bones.
Yeah, I think Gunha has a pretty strong resistance already, but
yeah, I mean he can regenerate his bones and everything.
It would be like magic god tier in taking hits.
That's
the training he needs to beat Olorus.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gunha, I really want to see how you spell his name. Aurelius versus Gunha fight.
Olerus.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
It'd be great to see SS2 be adapted. But
it was amazing. It was amazing. That's how I know about Gunha before I read the Railgun manga, because it was started at that novel first, then the manga. Yeah, It was amazing. Like I see him like talk about guts. Oh my god, he's so cool. Yeah, like flashy names also as well.
Oh yeah,
amazing punch. That's why time like Gunha beat up a delinquent.
Yeah, his introduction in SS2 was like really good. Like it, yeah. When you like see Gunha appear in like any like novel or manga, like I don't know if it's just me, but you just like immediately get hyped.
Yeah, agree. Same.
Whenever I see him, and like, bro, Sugita, like, what the hell is he gonna do next? Like, it's that kind of like excitement. Like, you don't know what he's gonna do, and that makes his appearances all memorable. And the fact that he doesn't appear often as well, like you kind of like cherish each moment because you know, he's not gonna appear for a while now.
He does amazing things.
He does.
Yeah.
Sugoi.
But one day where we get like Gunha on the cover of the light novel, I mean, apart from SS2,
Bro, could you imagine
It's
that?
probably going to be like the hypest volume, maybe.
Oh, imagine if he appears in like GT3.
Oh damn!
Oh no.
Anyway,
Oh,
we won't
no.
talk about GT3 because we won't spoil it for anime only.
Turns out the G in Genesis Testament actually stood for Gunha all along.
Testament.
I'm about to say that as well. Gunha is the main character of that. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about what we think the future is going to be for the To Aru Project. All right, let's talk about finance because financial profits is very exciting.
Don't get me talk about finance.
So the people for Index,
a bit.
they're making a lot of money from Imaginary Fest. They're making the big buck, and they're also making a lot of money from the pachinko thing. I've heard.
Oh yeah, they
Pachinko
made a
made
lot.
So much.
Yeah, made a lot.
Yeah,
Gambling
so this
is bad, boys and girls.
hopefully this isn't going to be
pachinko,
pocketed by hopefully this isn't going into the pockets of the chief executives of the company or whatever. This is actually going to go towards a new project, maybe, hopefully, because
It'll go for every project that isn't To Aru related.
better not. What do we think about all this money, and is there hope?
So Imaginary Fest made its first $1 million a month ago, I think, a month or two ago. That pachinko deal, I think it's more than. Does anybody remember how much? Or
Mercy
million?
probably posted
it's
it.
around 700 million.
700 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, 700 million?
Is that in yen?
Probably.
Oh, yen.
Yen,
Okay.
yen.
So I might
700
say
million yen.
dollars because I'm American.
Then for the 7%
We are
go
worldwide.
back.
Europe, America, and Asia.
Yeah, 700 million yen. Yeah, then the 7% goes back to the government's fees, the royalties.
taxes.
Yeah.
But still, a whole lot of money. I think they shipped. It's the company's second highest selling licensed pachinko machine, just behind Bluepin the Third. I believe that's what they confirmed the other day.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So they should have a whole lot of money to work with. There should be no excuses to rush it like they did for Index 3.
No.
Well,
Actually, like money is not really an issue for me because no matter how much money you have, if the staff or directing is bad, there's no point.
that's true, but I think with the more money you have, the higher tier and quality of staff you can hire, and the more time you can allocate to them. And with all that money, a minute of animation is roughly $5,000. This is a lot of money.
Because if you put like the same money, like for Railgun T and Railgun 3, right, they have the same amount. Imagine they have the same amount of money. Then for the staff rise, right, it's different. The quality, you know.
It'd be like One Punch Man had like a normal, the season 1, not season 2 that you know who did.
JC stuff.
Yeah. No, so season 1 of One Punch Man had like a normal anime budget. It was just completely average, but the staff they got for it was like god tier. And then
because of the directors, because the director scouted good people there.
Yeah. So I think with how much money they've pulled in, they should be able to get access to a lot of these kinds of people, and they shouldn't rush publication. Like they did, which is more of a Katakawa issue. But with all that money, I don't think they'll want to rush it. So I think with all of these big deals going on and them doing New Testament content in Imaginary Fest, I feel like we should be getting a New Testament anime announcement soon. I thought it would be during that Railgun show because, like, why else would it air on TV if it wasn't going to have a big announcement? But I guess there was some reason you could air it on TV without a big announcement because they didn't announce anything. So I think within the next 3 years, we'll have a New Testament announcement. If not, then I don't know what they're thinking.
It'll be the same thing like 7 years later, or 10 years later, we have an anime of Railgun Index.
like so Index is like the best selling, at least a couple of years ago it was the best selling light novel in Japan, just overall sales.
It's overall like the entirety of the novels.
Yeah. Well, I think it was still SAO was second place behind Index, and then
correct.
Index was like nearing 20 million book sales, and then if you included the rest of the series, it was over 30 million. Which,
personally, I see like Index outsold SAO because of the quantity, like Kamachi writes.
yeah, but SAO also included international numbers, whereas Index was Japanese only numbers. So I don't know.
Correct.
Index sells overseas as well, because I own them all digitally and physically because I waste my money.
Yeah, I'm also assuming maybe progressive, SAO progressive, maybe.
Yeah, but the reason I bring that up is because it outsells SAO, but SAO gets higher animation quality, higher quality in general, and they're
I think because of the marketing wise is superior because of they got games, they got like a lot of collaboration and shit and so on. Yeah.
True, but like even season 1 of Sword Art Online was much higher quality production wise than any of the seasons of Index had, despite it not having that backing just yet that Index had for whatever reason. So I've always been confused with their like why doesn't Index, being so big, especially in foreign markets like China, why doesn't it get the same amount of quality and usage out of it as SAO does? That's just something that it's always bugged me about the franchise.
No, I think it's because the light novel and the franchise is totally different. Because light novel, it just goes back to Kadokawa and and because like I say, like SAO have games, like Index don't have much games to support the franchise as a whole. And you don't see in To Aru series like have much games, like only collaboration, like a lot of collaboration. SAO is like general in like light novel games and merchandisers and so on. Like overseas fans will buy it. Yeah, light novel is a different issue lah. Because light novel cannot support the franchise. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Yeah, and I think just the time of when Index Season 1 aired compared to the time when SAO Season 1 aired, it was just like a whole different thing. Especially when Index 1 is like the genre of what Index was pretty generic at the time. And then SAO kind of like, it was still generic, but at the time it was like one of the upcoming things for like a new generation. And just in general, it like changed anime industry just because of what it did during that time period. Something to think about.
Like you see in Japan, right? For me, I go to Comic Con Japan. I don't see you see Index cosplayer like the 0.1% for SAO, like 20% of the cosplayers. Like for example, I just saying it's like a huge amount.
I guess like if Index had gotten the attention at the start that SAO did, would it be as popular as SAO? Because Index Season 1, from what I understand, wasn't a high budget anime, and they didn't really plan for a Season 2 to happen, direction wise. But for SAO, they went into it with a big budget, a good team, and because of all of that, it hit the mainstream. And I wonder what if Index had gotten that same treatment at the start, if we would have seen not quite the success that SAO has, but greater success now. It also took a lot of time for Funimation to even bring it over dub-wise. So it wasn't high priority for a lot of markets, it seems.
Okay. Tony, Didi got say anything about the franchise? Like,
So
Alright.
definitely, I
Who
feel
want to go first? Who want to go first?
yeah, so I definitely feel like just the way as it was presented, I feel like there's just way more like merchandise opportunity for SEO, especially during the time, like as I said earlier, during the time it aired, and just the way like they pushed it heavily because they was expecting something big. I wish they had that mind. I feel like the mindset they went into it, because the way they did it was for like SAO, they like instantly like made a game and merchandise, like pretty much following
Yeah,
like the
correct.
hype train. I would just wish they had that same mindset during like Index One.
Mhm.
I just feel like the whole like publisher, like everything, because like SEO is like Aniplex, and then like fun.
Like,
I just feel like there were so many different type of staff and people involved with different mindsets and plans. It just, I feel like if the people swapped, it may have been a different story. But just from what happened, yeah,
like during Index Season 1 period, like where it shines the most, like for me, like there's PSP games, like for fighting games, and for Railgun, they have the also, yeah, the visual novels and so on. Yeah,
Yeah.
they promote a lot, but it wasn't sell very well compared to SEO. Yeah, that's like maybe they probably the higher ups are probably they think it doesn't sell well. Yeah, compared to SEO, because SEO sells a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's probably why they think they delayed Index Season 3 for very long, because of that reason, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Did he got anything to say?
Well, I don't really have anything to say about like what could have been done at the start or anything. I just wanna like point out that, well, I feel like SAO got kind of a huge following, but a kind of casual following, whereas
Yeah.
Index has a really dedicated fandom, like a cult following, kind of. If you get what I mean, like we're all really invested in the franchise. Meanwhile, most SAO fans, at least in the West, they're like
Well, yeah,
yeah, I'd
yeah,
say
because of us, like that's why this franchise is still alive. Why we get Index 3? Why we get To Aru Project, Index 3, Railgun T, and Accelerator as well. Yeah, because
yeah,
of us.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I
because we
think
are
just the fact,
dedicated to it. Yeah.
it's pretty weird because like SAO is more easier to understand because I obviously got SEO2, then Alcization, and then the movie was pretty big as well. And then say if you want to get into like Index, around the same time you see a Railgun, and then you see an Index 2, then a Railgun S, and then just more of like the entire a certain scientific or a certain magical. It just gets more and more as the story goes, harder to like newcomers, and then SAO, you see SAO, then you see a 2, and then you obviously know Alcization. So I think it's just the fact that currently now it's just a bit harder.
Because
Yeah.
because most of the time, like many friends, like I try to get them to the series, like it's not for everyone. Yeah, like I try to introduce Index, and it's a bit harder compared to Railgun. Yeah, because for one of my friends, like I try to get him to watch Index, then it's a bit hard to swallow because he doesn't understand the reference there. Is yeah, for the Railgun side, it's much easier to understand.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's always like so much trouble. Like I'm in a French community of Toaru fans, and whenever someone asks for the order, it's like everyone gives a different order. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
correct,
give
correct,
the
correct.
release order, some give like some kind of semi-chron. I can't say chronological order.
Yeah, correct, correct, correct.
Some people say just watch Index and then Railgun. Some people say the opposite. It's always such a
It
mess.
just remind me of like watch Fate Zero first, then watch Fate Stay Night, or watch Fate Stay
Yeah.
Night, or watch Fate Zero. Yeah, it reminds me of that.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like any anime franchise is like just watch the release order because that's how it was released. So yeah, I think that's like the easy way to get into a series. Just look up the release order. I kind of like advise to like if you're not really into Index, if you watch like season 1, you can like switch to Railgun, and if you like the world and the characters, you can switch back to Index after that, and then continue on with the release order.
Mm.
That's my order that I used to like give to people.
Yeah, definitely always just recommend the release date order. But I don't know, because like obviously I recommend the release date order, but just the fact, if you just look at it, like if you list down every season title as a whole, you can't tell like what's the release date order. That just makes it a bit more confusing.
Yeah. I always get worried to introduce people starting with Railgun, just because Railgun tends to have a higher production quality. So whenever you switch to
Index.
it makes Index look worse. So I try to suggest watch order or release order, but then Index is a bit harder to get into than Railgun. So it's sort of a rock in a hard place.
Basically, it's like high expectation to low expectation, low expectation to high expectation, like that kind. Is it?
And it probably leave more people confused, because when it says like a side story, people are like, oh, there's a side story rival. Should I watch this first? Adds more and more to it.
I mean, I don't know how anybody. I wonder if anybody started with Accelerator. I wonder if there's any fans that started.
Well, I mean,
Accelerator.
like some female fans, like they have fetish with some white hair boys.
Accelerator get all those edgy girl fans.
Yeah, I agree.
Actually, I think like if we get kind of a name reset with Index New Testament as an anime, like if it's not Index 4 but Index New Testament, maybe some people will like by mistake get into the series with New Testament.
Because I know some fans like they just ignore everything, just watch Accelerator only. Yeah, that's all. Nothing else. Some fans. They ignore Toma, they ignore Misaka. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do exist. They do exist.
What was the original question we started this off with?
It was about the future of the To Aru Project, but it's fine. It's fine.
Oh yeah, correct.
No. We can move on. It's fine. But yeah, I just want to talk about what something Diddy mentioned. So the To Aru franchise has kind of become like or I should say community. It's kind of become like a cult following, like he said, as opposed to the SAO fandom. It just it's kind of strange how they're quite similar in sales in terms of the source material in Japan. I mean, Index is still it's relatively well known in the West amongst the anime community, but it's just never gone to the heights of like SAO or Boku no Hero or the Naruto. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it would benefit more from having more people, but at the same time, it's I can understand why it's nice to have a cult following rather than it'd be completely mainstream like Dragon Ball, because you know what I mean.
I get you, because like SAO has a very mainstream audience, and you see that sort of affect the works. And I sort of prefer, in a way, the aspect of Index being sort of niche, because there's less outcry over certain things. Like My Hero Academia, for example, is super mainstream, and people have, like, always some sort of controversy with it that's really dumb, because people are looking to get angry at it. And I think a lot of mainstream series end up having that kind of group sort of come at it all the time. So it's nice that you can have a series that doesn't really have controversies, because it sort of maintains its niche, and it's so hard for only like not dedicated people to get into, because there's just so much to keep track of.
Yeah, and it makes it like not a normie thing. It's great to scroll through the Reddit and not see, who would win, Accelerator versus Goku?
Exactly. Because we all know Accelerator would solo the Dragon Ball Z universe, right?
I want to make a video something like that, because it'll get a lot of views, but I know it'll be stupid.
No. I mean,
it'll be stupid, but I want
it's your
views.
YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and do it.
Hey, those views talk.
Accelerator versus Saitama video.
Yes. I mean, you can attract a lot of toxic, maybe I don't know, toxic fans over you. Over that
Yeah, I
video.
probably get a lot of toxic One Punch Man fans, but I mean,
Because
maybe later on in my YouTube career,
One Punch
I don't want to
Man
ruin
is
my
very fake.
I don't want to ruin my YouTube reputation early. Maybe later on.
Yeah. Well, it's your choice. It's your choice. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, I think the index anime is kind of hard to get into. Like, I got like some of my casual like anime fan friends into it. Well, to watch it, I should say, rather than into it. But, yeah, and most of them got kind of bored watching Index, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, I feel like
I can't blame them.
I feel like SAO. It's a lot more understandable. It's a lot more simple than Index. Index is quite complicated in a lot of places, especially in the anime where it's not that clear. But I mean,
Because
and even
most of them don't get the reference like religious and so on.
Yeah, I mean, in a light novel, it's a lot more detailed, but it's still like the overall what's happening in the story is explained more clearly. That's what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. What I want to do now, we'll go into a Q&A. So we've had some questions in YouTube and we've had one on Twitter, I think. We'll see if there's any more.
My phone died, so I can see them now.
Okay, no worries. We'll start on Twitter because I think that was the first question that was asked. So this is for everyone. By the way, guys, if you want to drop your questions down in the YouTube chat, then we'll get to them eventually. We'll answer them in chronological order. So if you have any questions for anyone in the podcast, or if you have a question for all of us, then drop them in the YouTube comments. So yeah, thank you. We thank you for any questions you have to ask.
Yes.
Thank you for coming along. But yeah, we'll start on Twitter. So Yiyo asks, it's a question for everyone, like I said. What do you like the most about To Aru? It is a simple and generic question, but it can open a very interesting discussion. So, anyone like to go first, or I can go first? It's up to you guys.
I'll go. Oh,
sure.
Sensitive. Give me a second.
No worries.
Is that better? So for Index, I really like the world building and construction of it. That's sort of what really gets me into it, because like you start with Index and then you go to Railgun and you're like, whoa, I'm making all these connections that I didn't make before. And so it's just sort of like, it's a fun thing to sort of hobby over. You can dedicate a lot of time to it and you're sort of rewarded by making all these connections. And then there's also a lot of really great characters. Like Toma's a really interesting character to examine. Accelerator, who has a really great arc. Misaka, for especially like whenever you first start the series, is a really standout character. But overall, I'm mostly attached to the world building and sort of the expansion upon it. That's what really got me into Index.
Yeah, what I really like is just the fact how like there's multiple series and multiple perspectives. Just the way it all can combine into one like story and everything adds up. I just find it great, and there's always something that's new, even if I'm not fully caught up, to just something to look forward to in the community. Like if there's a light novel volume, if there's a Railgun chapter, there's just always something going on. And just the fact how there's all the interesting characters and just how everything flows. Like you got all these level 5s, but all of them have connections in like every like individual story and perspective. Just the way it all flows in, and how okay, New York.
Okay.
Yeah, just some terminal level look.
Yeah, just overall great. I enjoyed it a lot. I definitely wanted a series to kind of dive into, because I just mainly watch like a season, then go to the next season, then just watch something else. But this one, it was like I felt like it's more a commitment and something I definitely wanted to do as an anime. And after I did it, I thought it was great, and I definitely like to dive into more of the source material and just everything. So I just feel like even if you're starting as an anime only, there's even more and more content, and just getting into Aro as a whole is never dull. There's always something.
Didi, you can go first.
All right. Well, I think the really great thing about To Aru is like, at the start in Railgun or Index or whatever spin-off, it just like expands the world, like sets up concepts, characters, And like the more you dive into it, the more you get into the franchise, the more you get out of it. Like seeing characters like from, for example, the science and magic side that you never guess they would interact at any point, and you see them like interact, and it all makes sense, and it's just like so rewarding, you know. I think that's the greatest thing about Toaru for me.
Yeah. For why I like things about 2 hours, like okay, there's a lot many things to say. So I was a One Piece fan, so I like a lot of foreshadowing. So for Index series, yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. Yeah. So I because of I like about 2 hour series because of the main character. First for Index, for Misaka. I mean for Railgun is Misaka. Then yeah, like other people say already that a lot of world building I like how it set up, slowly build up, like Kamachi, like start from scratch, like build up a lot of things. Like for Index season 1, I watched like 30 overtimes season 1. Yeah, it's kind of when I was very bored and I had nothing to do, like just watch Index season 1. The more I watch it, like rewatch Index season, like 2 hour series as a whole, like I keep on finding new things, like it foreshadow for the future like stories of the like in the NTs in the anime. I mean, yeah, it's yeah. Not only the stories, like the characters as well, because each character is very unique in their own ways. Like I really love about them. Like it keeps building up the whole setting of 2 hour series as a whole, and yeah. Yeah, and also the fandom. I love the fans. So it's like, but there are good up and downs. But yeah, we are all in this together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely one of the better communities.
definitely.
Yeah, for me, it's the universe as a whole. I mean, Toaru has like, especially the next light novels have so many elements to the story that are so amazing. Like the characters, like each of the characters have like something interesting about them. Even like a lot of side characters, like you'd think don't have much depth to them. They do have something to the characters that makes them interesting. I do see a few people on Twitter say that the characters like aren't fleshed out well. I think they're just annoyed that they don't appear again in the later volumes. But yeah, the characters are really amazing. Like just seeing how Toma's morals contrast from his enemies and the ideological conflicts and the ethical dilemmas he comes across. It's just really interesting. The philosophy of the ideologies. It's honestly great. And then combined with like the magic, science, politics, and how Zyvek said with how the world progresses with the world building, adding new elements. It's just like Kamachi has so many great ideas, and it's just like not just great ideas, but fresh ideas. Like okay, you have some stereotypical cliches here and there, but he spins on their head. But he also has so many unique ideas, which makes the story just like really stand out and so memorable. So I'd probably say all that. There's so much to say about it. Like it's
agree. Before I forget, I also like the light novels. Illustration is so amazing because you can see the improvement. Like start from volume 1 all the way to the latest. Like you can see like the artist keep improving, and like for the Index series, like you can see the progression. Like for Railgun, it also has some, but yeah.
It keeps things fresh.
Yeah, agree. And like that's why I start because of the Index illustrations. I start uploading map videos on my YouTube channel. Yeah, because of that reason. Because I never read light novels at that time. Until I start reading the light novels until like NT9 came out. Yeah, because of spoilers. Then I got invested into it. Yeah.
The Mads are really great. I love those more than the AMVs, I think.
Same.
Because I check before I start my YouTube channel, I check 2 hour videos like every single day, like during my school days. Like I never miss a day. Like like when Index 3 is Railgun is airing, when Index 3 is airing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm that kind of fan. Like check the YouTube videos every single day, Nico videos.
Yeah, you sort of had to be that kind of fan to stay into the series during the whole 7-year gap between like the animes because the content really declined a lot because new people weren't really joining the fandom. And it's hard to find, at least here in the West, it was hard to find anybody who actually read the novels. So there wasn't much community.
Yeah, correct. That's why I decided to join the Facebook page, as an admin, because I want to keep helping this community to grow, even the minorities, helping the minorities to get invested to this series. Yeah, as much as possible, even though it isn't much, but it does help a lot. Yeah, for my part. Yeah.
Yeah, back in like early 2000 or 2008 through 2013, I think most of the Western Index fandom was like forums. You just talk to people in forums.
Yeah.
Which there were some interesting conversations back then, but it was hard to sort of gather a community.
Because forums doesn't give much help to the community. I mean, it does help for those who are dedicated, but personally, it doesn't help as for to the rest of majority to help investors SEO boom, anime just advertise itself. Yeah. For the 2-hour series, you need fans as a whole to help to motivate each other because we are a very small community compared to the rest of the franchise. Yeah, that's why 2-hour series Kion is alive because of us fans.
Yeah.
Motivate one another to help motivate to invest in this series.
For sure.
Yeah. That's why I made my YouTube channel for that reason. One part of the reason, as well. Yeah, that's all. Okay, we're gonna go on.
No worries. Yes, we've got quite a few questions, so we'll try to get through as many as we can. Some of the questions can be answered pretty quickly. There's two questions which are quite similar about Shakugan no Shana, which is a crossover in Imaginary Fest. So, have we checked out the crossovers in Imaginary Fest? Yeah, I think the people who play Imaginary Fest have. So, me, Malcolm, Didi. I'm not sure if you play Imaginary Fest, Zvivex and Tuni.
Yeah.
Sorry again.
Do you play Imaginary Fest?
My phone broke, so I can't play.
I think I remember talking to you about that a while ago.
Yeah.
You played Tuni?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like basically a fake grand order of Index. So it's a gacha game.
Yeah. Gacha.
Yeah.
Gacha.
Gotcha money.
But yeah, we checked those crossovers out, and does the Shana event interest us in getting into Shana? Has anyone seen Shana here? I haven't.
I've seen Shana. I watched it back whenever it first started airing too.
What's it like?
Shakugan no Shana. In terms of because I haven't read the novels because I don't think there's really access to them. The anime, I think it was also a JC Staff anime, and it started a bit before Index. There was a lot of cross promotion, I remember.
Yeah.
Between the two, but it's a really entertaining. It's more romance heavy, but it's a supernatural battle series with a love triangle. But it is really interesting. I'd recommend checking it out, especially if you're a fan of the magic side of Index. You'd probably like it.
Fair enough. I might have to give it a watch. I do like the openings live up.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen many of the openings, but I haven't seen the actual series, but I've listened to some of the openings. They are pretty fun.
For Shana, I'm quite okay with it. I'm very neutral about it. It's watchable series. I like some of the fights. For the final part, I also some of the side characters. The openings, it's decent. Oh yeah, for the Shana Seiyu, the voice actress, what's her name again? I forgot. Yeah, but she voiced she's the same voice actor as Agnes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good series. Like, it's not a bad series. There's like a lot of fans, like old fans like it. Yeah.
hmm Yeah,
Fair
it was a
enough.
really good early 2000s anime.
Yeah, it does cross over with the Index Tan. Am I right? Like Shana Tan. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
there was a
forgot.
lot of like magazine illustrations of the two crossing over. I posted one on my Twitter a while back for because they added Shauna to what's it called? Netflix. They added Shakugan no Shauna to Netflix, and it reminded me of the illustration, so I just pointed it out on
Yeah.
Twitter. But yeah, there was a lot of cross promotion.
Yeah, in the past, it used to be very popular.
Yeah.
Like Shana, Index. Then I think Toradora also as well. I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they just sort of fell off because their series like actually came to an end. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next question. I think this can be answered pretty quickly. Accelerator pre-wings versus Gunha by Kamijo Toma. I think Accelerator is going to destroy Gunha. No offense, Didi.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Gods have vectors.
What the hell is he going to do?
I don't know. Like, I mean,
He punches him once and it's just going to go straight back his face. And...
he had like trouble with the dark matter. Why wouldn't he have trouble with Gunha's unexplainable power? Like,
yes, okay, fine, but he can always adapt his vectors like he did against dark matter.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean,
and Gunha's not going to go straight for the kill. Gunha doesn't want to kill people.
Didn't you hear from Anime News Network that Gunha has those dragons that he can fire?
What? I never heard. This is the first time I heard about it.
Okay. Interesting story. Whenever they reviewed the Dragon Strike episode,
okay,
whoever reviewed it, I don't think they watched the episode. They said that the opening sequence, the opening to the credits, was like 8 minutes long.
Okay.
But I timed it, and it was 40 seconds until you got back into the fight with Gunha and Toma.
Okay.
But they're like, oh yeah, Gunha had this weird power where he was able to shoot out the dragons all of a sudden, and they never explain it. And it was just like they kept talking about the episode, and none of the stuff they said happened, or like unless you were like on your phone and you looked up and saw like Gunha's eyes glow, look down, and then look back up to see dragons fighting. Like
I think they mistaken Gunha for Toma because of like maybe probably not the hairstyle, right?
No, but they got made fun of so much on the Twitter post about it. Link to it that if you went back, they changed it and fixed the article to change or like make up stuff. But the whole article was based off the writer's confusion. Like you could still tell they didn't watch it or at least pay attention to what they were.
I wish I think I heard about it, but I just ignored it.
I think you can see it if you find the article and then go back on the way back machine.
I remember. Now you mentioned I remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so funny.
It was so dumb.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that guy needs to be sacked. Please sack him. I mean, I can talk about Chinese cartoons way better than that guy.
Well, what happened?
But yeah. Should I move on to the next question?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so Happy asks, what is the best arc? I'll just do a quick one. I'll say, well, depends what you mean by best. I mean, my favorite arc's probably still World War 3 in the novel. Although close between Offness and Aleister Crowley arc. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same for you, except in terms of the anime, I would probably say Sisters is the best arc in the anime, Railgun version of Sisters.
Yeah, as for anime only, I'll just say Railgun S Sisters arc.
Yeah, for me, like for the anime, like 2 hour series as a whole, I like Index arc, the first arc. I can keep on watching again as many times as I because I really love it.
Wait, you like the episode where they just have singing lollies?
No, not that part, not that part. I mean like entirely because like where Toma before become very heroic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like to save Index, that kind. I really like that arc. It was very touching.
To be fair, that arc is probably the only arc in the anime that's actually closest to the source material because it got enough episodes.
Yeah, correct.
Apart from singing lollies, which was only about 10 pages in light novel, but it made it into an episode. But yeah.
Yeah. Then, then for the light novel is the Ortinus arc. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of favorite arcs, but just if I have to pick one, just the Ortinus arc.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, for me, like Index anime would be Academy City Invasion. Railgun anime would be Daiha Seisai, and in the light novel, it's probably Ichihana Ransai or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that arc is good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good arc.
It's about the Thor. Is it like Thor part, right? Is it? Yeah, correct.
Remember, guys, no spoilers.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
just mentioning it.
Good. Okay. Next question by Rishi. What do you guys think about the recap that was posted on To Aru Project YouTube channel? I mean, I saw it and I didn't really have an opinion on it. I mean,
I just thought it was cool.
I was
To Aru Project YouTube channel, right? Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it just like for the 2-year anniversary of Index 3? I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't really get why they posted it. It was really more of a Toma story flash, or not like To Aru, but more Toma's perspective of To Aru. But I don't know. At first, when they posted, I was like, "Is this them preparing us for a New Testament announcement?"
Yeah, I was hoping.
But nothing came. So it's just sort of like something they did. I don't really.
Yeah, it is cool to think that obviously they're still well aware of like Old Testament.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't have much to talk about. I think it just advertised for new fans, not the old fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and personally, I don't pay attention too much about it. Yeah, it's just there.
Yep, I guess we can move on. Okay, so Blockhost asks, if there were to be a studio change, what studios would you want? So I'll go first. I mean, you guys probably say Ufotable, understandably, but I'm a huge like Madhouse nerd.
Yeah, but
I love Madhouse because 9 times out of 10 they do a great adaptation of whatever.
But there's a chance like bad CGI, like for example the Overlord tree.
I heard about Overlord, but
if you compare to JC stuff CGI, like the Madhouse CGI is horrible for Overlord 3.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen Overlord, but like some Madhouse's like earlier works, like I mean, even in like Hunter x Hunter, when that was that was in 2011, and that continued for quite a while.
Hunter x Hunter don't have much CGI. That's why it's great for that part.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they still can make a high quality anime with great adaptation. But yeah, I love Gungrave and Kaiji. Gungrave is one of my favorite animators of all time, but the animation for that's very dated. But the story and everything is, oh my god, it's incredible. Yeah, Kaiji, Death Note. I mean, Hunter. What more needs to be said?
Actually, maybe you didn't know, but the Chaos Head anime, which according to Chaos Head fans doesn't exist,
Chaos Head.
was made by Madhouse, I think.
Really? Was it made by Madhouse? Okay. Yeah, I did say 9 times out of 10, so there's a 1 out of 10 chance. Yeah. I have seen Chaos Head. Chaos Head is not very good.
He has a big side.
For me, Chaos Head is okay. I kind of like it.
The anime or the game?
For me.
Oh, I've never played the game. I'm just talking about the anime.
Oh,
I never played the game as well.
Chaos is probably even more confusing than like any season of Index put together.
Yeah.
For me, I like the opening though.
Into anime.
Yeah, opening's not bad.
Somehow.
If I had to say a studio I would like, probably keeping it simple, just like A1. I would say Madhouse, but I would like a season 2. So I feel like Production IG would do pretty good as well,
Yeah.
or Bones.
Yeah, Bones.
Bones could do good, yeah.
Yeah. For me, I think I'll have to explain my choice a bit because I don't think it'll be a popular choice. But there's a lot of things I'd sort of try and consider when I think who I would like to see take it from JC staff. And I think the most important aspect or thing that Index needs the most is it needs a lot of episodes to explain anything, just because of how the series is structured and how much exposition is really required. And I think that's sort of the greatest weakness the previous Index animes have is it's just there's not enough time to go over everything. So whenever I think about that, the only animation studio that came to mind tends to be like Toei Animation, which they get a bad rep because they're shonen animes. Like they do shonen nonstop, like 52 episode seasons. And as a result, the animation tends to take a hit. But if you watch some of the series that they do, that isn't the big Shonen Jump animes, they tend to have really good animation and quality and stuff. And it's the only studio I could think of that would give Index like enough episode count and budget to do everything, including like side stories. And the biggest issue that Shonen manga have is they can't keep up pace with the anime because the anime is just so rapid. You're like covering 3 to 4 chapters in a single episode. Whereas I think Kamachi, there's so much Index, Railgun, Accelerator content that you could theoretically keep making episodes and never hit that wall. Especially with Kamachi's pace.
Yeah,
so
Kamachi would outdo them.
Yeah. So I think Toei Animation would actually be a decent choice for a Index studio, just because it seems like they're one of the few that could keep up pace and actually give us everything that we or fill in everything without having to skip out on important context. That I don't think any other
I think I have the
could.
same opinion as you for that. Yeah, for
That's
Toei
fair.
Animation. Yeah,
I do think
because
A1.
Yeah.
I think A1 would be good because like they had Fairy Tail, which is a long running shonen, and the fact that Alicization with World Underworld like 4 cores. So I feel like once they have like the budget and time, they could like really put the effort in. And there's also like Studio Period that does like Boruto, Black Clover, Naruto, and Bleach and stuff.
Yeah.
For me, I don't want A1 animation to be adapting Index, like for future because it ruined one of my favorite manga, Denpa Kyoshi, just for that reason. Yeah, Denpa Kyoshi. Yeah, just for that reason why I don't want to choose A1 for it.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
think
a
A1
50-50 situation. It's either good, extremely good, or very bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I respect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think A1 has some of the same fallings that JC staff has, where it tries to put out too much without consideration of resources or time.
Didi got anything, sorry?
Yeah, of course. I think I'd like Studio Bones because they've been like consistent over the years in their ability to be great, and like they're doing Boku no Hero Academia, and it's like kind of an urban superpower series, so maybe it kind of fits. Then again, like maybe more realistically, A1, because like I mean, maybe that's not how it works, but Miki from Straight Edge is the editor of SAO and Index, and like since Straight Edge is a production company, maybe it has something to do with like the studio, like it can pick for the series. So maybe it could like negotiate a switch between JC and A1. Though I'd be content with like the Railgun stuff on Index, like if the stay are JC stuff. So yeah, that's what I had to say.
For me, if I want to pick, yeah, it's definitely affordable. Like for the mainstream picture, because what I see from many like Fate adaptation, like they are very consistent, like the quality never drops.
Oh,
like even if like the stories get cut out, it's definitely 100%. Like in like some of the source material being cut out, but at least the animation is great. Like at least you see why these fights are amazing. Why? That's why because Index are the selling point for me is like the fights, yeah, and the amazing you show off the abilities, all those, and so on. Yeah, because Fate also have like very deep, heavy lore into it, like never shown in the anime. That's why if you are a very dedicated fan, you just read the source material. Same for Index. Yeah.
Okay, moving on. All of you, what novel should be rewritten or could be better? I'll immediately start with the one that immediately comes to mind.
Is it Ice Boats?
No, it's not Ice Boats. Ice Boats is fine. Ice Boats gets too much hate. Ice Boats did some good. Like introduced Vento and got more depth to the nuns. But yeah, I mean, Biohacker.
Oh, really?
Biohacker. And those of you who read Biohacker know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just chill out on that. Oh my. Bare lolly thighs. How many fucking times do you need to say that, Kamachi?
Oh,
like, no.
In his defense, I
Stop
think
it.
he was trying to relay Toma's sort of going through that more puberty part of his life.
Oh, come on.
That is
no.
just my reasoning for it. He went extra horny in that volume, so I'm just trying to rationalize it in some way.
But yeah, I mean, even the actual story itself was quite messy. Like, I was yeah. When I read about, I won't spoil the details, but when I read about this particular backstory in one of the New Testament volumes, you'll know what I'm talking about if you've read it. I had, I was excited to learn more about it, but there wasn't much really that was going on apart from the end, and the end was okay, I guess. But yeah, overall, it was just a real disappointment. I was expecting it to be a lot more better and have better drama, but yeah, it was a painful.
You'll be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all I
I
have
think
to
I liked it. If you remove like the fan servicey parts, I mostly liked it. I think it may have actually benefited if there was a bit more slice of life portions dedicated to Toma and Ayu, just because she's sort of not really yandere, but like she's obsessed with the idea of him being a hero to her, I guess. So I would have liked more development between the two of them to really build up sort of that dedication to him.
Yeah.
From her.
Well, yeah, she was really annoying. Like she was really just like not nice towards Toma for a large portion of the volume. Then she wants sympathy at the end. It's like, bro, how do you get sympathy from being like really annoying towards him?
Yeah. But I know I did like it because like right after I read the ending to that, I went back and reread parts of what was it, NT11? That's the Misaki one.
Yeah,
I think, and sort of was able to sort of close that sort of section of the story in my mind, sort of put them together, which was nice because it does specify, like in the novel, she's like, oh yeah, and I filled, or in T11, she mentions how she like stuffed her pockets with rocks and threw herself off a bridge. And then whenever you read Biohacker, she specifies how she stuffed her clothes with rocks or whatever and jumped off, and it was just like meld together, and I like that.
Fair enough. Does anyone else have anything to say about volume that they would change?
Yeah. Well, it's not exactly me, but I'm gonna take one for the boys and say that I'd rewrite New Testament 17. I mean, like 90% of people who read this volume hated it.
Around there.
Remember
Not
why.
really 90%, like maybe 70%.
Oh, I like New
or
Testament
50.
17.
I mean, personally, I don't even remember what happened really, because like maybe my brain is trying to protect me or something. Like,
Oh,
I mean, it's probably the most hated volume in the entirety, apart from Ice Boats.
wow. I'm quite surprised at that. I really like New Testament 17.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can defend that volume.
Damn. Well, that's great. It means it's like it has good points, I guess. I just remember the contrast between like the clothes and the cold. That's what I remember the most.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say this one, but it's
Wait, are
mostly for me.
Well, you mentioned like the cold. Are you talking about the New Testament 16 or New Testament 17?
Oh, I'm talking about 17. I like
Right.
16. I really remember.
Oh, really?
16 well.
I
Yeah.
thought 16 was worse than 17, to be honest, because 16 kind of like introduced like the whole microwave swimsuit thing, and that was like really weird. Like that just came out of nowhere. Like New Testament 17 actually built upon Kamisato's character a lot. I won't spoil what happens, obviously, but yeah, and also fleshed out his harem more as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't see how New Testament 17 is that bad, considering.
Personally, for the element like the arc, right, it will be great for animations because you see many kaijus.
Yeah.
Like you see like for Railgun T, like you see 2 kaijus, right? Imagine if the element like with a lot more, like maybe how many kaijus like that? Hundreds, 50? I forgot already. Like for the element arc.
Oh,
I don't remember.
I can't remember how many there were.
There
How many
are way
were
too many.
also-
Like imagine that scale, like for Railgun T, like for the element arc, that kind of scaling. It will be great personally. I like it. It's a great idea for me.
You
Yeah.
mentioned the bathing suits, Alistair. And
Yeah.
I just remember in the afterward, Kamachi was just like, oh yeah, I just wanted an excuse to add bathing suits.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
It just came out. It just all came out of nowhere. Like the elements, the microwaves, where the temperature has risen, and so they had to go into the bathing suits. Like it just came out of nowhere. It was just like really weird. At least New Testament 17 actually felt like a
It just being
a
forced.
consistent
just for
index
that.
volume.
It just
I really
forced for me.
New Testament 16, because like I had kind of an immersion bonus. Like when I read it, I was at school and there was like no AC, no windows, and it was like I really felt the heat wave. So yeah.
Okay.
it
By the way,
really-
guys, sorry.
Yeah.
Are we all right to keep going for a little bit, or do you want to?
Yeah, I've got no issues.
Oh yeah, if I want to say
Everyone
about
okay?
like
Toonie, you
personally-
okay? Keep going.
I actually got to go soon. I could do one more question though.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
yeah. We'll find another question. Where was I? We were. Okay. What's one of the things you hate most about the franchise, or just like the least? So that's a very negative one.
I only have a few, like, so
Okay.
yeah. For me, what I hate about the franchise is like shipping discussion.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the number one I most hate about it. Yeah. Then also like compare make a lot of toxic discussion about the characters like Toma being generic and so on. Yeah, it's very common lah. Yeah, that's the only toxic part.
Yeah, I probably just dislike the fact how it's pretty hard for newcomers to get into the series.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main thing.
Yeah. For me, I would have to say probably some of the fan service, especially like the lolly parts. Not necessarily because it's like, oh no, lollies, but because it makes it hard to show the series to people. Whenever like in the first episode, you have Index's habit exploding. Or Kuroko sexually harassing Misaka.
Oh yeah.
So it makes it hard because you're like, oh no, can I show this person the series without them thinking I'm a weirdo? But
you must be a good Christian boy.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Just like Fiamma.
Tell my parents, oh no, it's a Christian anime. Look, there's nuns.
Oh no. Definitely, like there are people out there like refuse to watch Index because of that reason. 100%. Yeah. Maybe.
Kuroko is it's a hurdle.
Because at first I don't like Kuroko, like because I last time I used to ship Misaka and Toma. Then I hate Kuroko for that reason. Because Kuroko interfere with them. That's my previous mindset.
I don't like Kuroko that much just because like she goes a bit too far in my opinion a lot of time.
But I personally like Kuroko as time goes on because Kuroko's character development like in the Railgun manga is very good. Yeah. Then
I like her when she's in judgment mode.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Besides that, yeah, I don't mind her now. As I grown up now, like I don't mind her, like because it's just for comedy relief, whenever I talk with my in real life like cosplay friends, like To Aru cosplay friends, like okay, we can make jokes about Kuroko, like for this moment for the photo shoot and so on. Yeah, it's fun to talk about in real life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for the toxicity, I already talked about it. Yeah, that's about it. Other can go ahead and talk.
There, who hasn't gone yet?
Yeah, well, same as Malcolm, really. It's a fan service because it makes it like so much harder to show anyone the series, and it can be jarring, especially when it's like added in the anime compared to the source material. Like we talked about that earlier when we addressed like the Misaka problem in Index 3. So yeah.
Speaking of fan service, personally I like it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm the one of the guy. I'm a perverted guy, horny guy. I like the fan service. No.
Well, that's pretty based, kind of.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing I did forget, sort of like the toxicity you mentioned earlier. I do hate both like the Railgun elitism side, where you've never watched Index or Reddit, but in the same turn, I also hate sort of the Index elitists, where it's just like where you think every Railgun fan, or like anybody who likes a certain character, maybe from Railgun more, you consider them a Railgun elitist. I think both sides sort of have their negatives whenever they go too far and just like some people just blindly hate Railgun because of Railgun fans, and that in turn they like hate the characters from it, which I think can be a bit unfair. But
yeah, it makes the fan base really hard to get into for some people. Like I know of some people who like got involved in, like they were in the middle of complete wars between like these two sides, and they got like so fed up with the whole series. Like it's not even the fault of the series itself.
yeah,
but
it sort of creates factions
so
within the
sad.
fandom.
Like
But-
they never watched the series, then they really hate it, or is it
Yeah.
something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Oh, and light novel fans have a really bad habit of spoiling everything.
Yeah.
That too. I feel bad for anime only fans sometimes because it's hard to go into an index video comment section without something getting spoiled.
Well,
And,
I'm one of them last time. Oops. but now for me now personally, as I grow up, I start to mature more. At least like try to not spoil, then at least give like for the new fans a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Then at least for the newcomers they will get fresh start. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Tuni, you can go next.
All right, so yeah, pretty much like I said before, just obviously how it's pretty hard for newcomers, and then just the fact in general, how it's say, because I feel like most people who watch this, it's like more of a shonen type thing. They mainly read like manga, not really heavily of light novels. So for them to recommend them Railgun, it's easier since it's like a manga. But for someone to recommend them Index, like the main series, it's a light novel. And so like the anime is a bit harder to understand and the source material. So it kind of just always follows up to Railgun. So I just feel like obviously there's the Index manga, but it's it's not that far in. It's not New Testament or anything. So it's just a bit harder. Just in general as the whole series for Index, I feel like it's got the tougher side of like a new base of fans.
For sure.
All right. I mean, I could say similar things to what people have already said, so I'll say something different. So we were talking about like I was talking about Nectar Arc earlier, so I'd probably say that. But about franchise, yeah, definitely some of the fans on Twitter can be annoying, like the Railgun fans.
Oh yeah. May I talk about it? Because what I don't like about the example, I don't like fans like fight over each other. Like example, oh okay, like for Chan must be in this territory, so we just like ignore Facebook or maybe Reddit. I don't like that kind of conflict because we are in this together. Because we are a small community, we should unite as one. Because
yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not very healthy to fight one another, like Twitter versus Facebook, or maybe Facebook versus Discord. That I don't like about it. It's not very healthy because because we are in this series together. We love 12 series as a whole. So yeah, personally, I don't like that kind of toxicity fight like for one platform. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my personal take. Because I really love the franchise as a whole, no matter what platform it is. Yeah. YouTube, Facebook, 4chan, or and other platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all about it for me.
Yeah, I mean, in any fandom, you get like a small portion of the fandom are just like toxic. I mean, it happens literally in every fandom you can think of, and it's just, it's something you can't really avoid. But yeah, I mean, it will. Yeah, it's just how things are.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking about the franchise itself rather than the fandom, because I think those two are slightly different. Probably the fact that Index should be treated better in the anime, given the respect it deserves. Give Kamachi some respect, JC staff. But yeah, that's all I have to say on that one. So, should we move to the next question, or you can continue, Tuni? Or
Yeah, I'm gonna go head out. Yo, thank you for inviting me. This was awesome.
Yeah,
No worries,
thank
man.
you, Tuni.
It was nice meeting you all and talking to you.
Yeah,
for the
it's great
first
to
time.
talk to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice to
thanks for
meet
coming
you.
along. And
Yeah.
make sure if you haven't subscribed to Tuni, subscribe to his channel. I put a link in the description. If you're into very regular Railgun videos and Index videos, then definitely give him a subscription.
Yeah, don't
So,
don't
check
worry.
him
I'm a
out.
channel for the normies.
no, you're getting into New Testament.
Yeah,
which is good.
you did great.
Yeah.
I watch your videos regularly.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoy New
Yeah.
Testament. It'll be a fun ride, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for having me. Everyone have a great day.
Yeah, take care.
Thanks, you too, man.
Yeah,
See
take
ya.
care. Stay
ya.
safe. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, next question. Gamer0100 asks, would a 2D fighting game be a good idea? There are so many characters with unique powers, so it just needs a good studio. Yeah, it could work. I mean, you have the Umineko 2D fighting game, and those characters can like destroy entire multiverses. So yeah, I mean, and then Dragon Ball Fighter Z, also kind of similar situation going on where they're pretty overpowered. So yeah, it could work. Just balancing issues. Yeah, I mean, it'd be fine as long as you just scale the characters to each other.
Yeah,
Like we already have like unofficial like fans like the Mugen. Yeah, for the 2D fighting games for like we fight with a lot of different characters.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, Didi, since you do a bunch of the Mugen Index videos.
Yeah, I've even been trying to like host a tournament online. There's a way to play online, Mugen. So yeah, I mean, like the characters in Index that are in Mugen, they're like made by the community. There are like a few of them which are pretty bad, but most of them are actually pretty good and balanced and complete. So yeah, we are actually pretty lucky to have them. I could like list them, but I don't know if it's like that interesting. There's like
sounds
a
like
bunch.
Sounds like it'd be a fun stream to do an online tournament.
Yeah, I'll probably host that on my channel if it happens.
Sweet.
But, yeah, I just need to get more people into it.
I will download it one day. I promise.
Yeah. You just want the Aleister character.
Oh my god, I love that so much. Oh, I guess we can talk more about novels. So yeah, I love to use the spiritual tripping. And like his combos, you could like extend like the reach of them with his blasting rod. That'd be cool.
Only studio I can think of that I'd like to see do an Index 2D fighter would be the one that does Blaze Blue and all those. The only other studio I know of that does fighters would be Capcom, but I feel like anime fighters are sort of their own beast. That who does the Blaze Blue games?
Arc System Works.
Yeah, Arc System Works. I think they would be the best option for a.
It's the same company for Dragon Ball Fighters and Guilty Gear as well.
Yeah, so that's I guess like a Arc Systems Work type fighter that's very like combo heavy and like rapid combos. I feel like that would be the best.
Exactly. I feel the same.
All right. Next question. Nero's asks, what are your favorite weapons / power? I think we answered similar question to in the first podcast. But yeah, Vivex, I'll let you go first since you went in the first podcast.
So what's the question again? Like
what are your favorite weapons or powers? I'm assuming it's To Aru only.
Okay, favorite powers I think is IZ of Yama's Holy Right ability. Yeah,
it's so broken.
Yes, I love broken abilities. That's why I got into this franchise because of Toma's Magic Breaker. Yeah, because it's very unique compared to because in the early days, like we don't have many negations like protected negation ability, like in the old days lah. Now you have Black Clover, you have like the mainstream one. Yeah. So abilities, IZ, because of this, it's kind of unique because you can do whatever you want, like, but there's limitation for it. But it's still OP. If you think about it, like if you fight against like the Railgun cast, like just saying. Yeah, it's also Gunha's ability is very interesting as well. It's very unique. I can say a lot of things like that. There are many characters with a lot of unique abilities, but you have to pick one. I just pick this few. Yeah.
True. There are a lot of interesting abilities in the series and a lot of unique ones, so it's kind of like hard to pick.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I answered like spiritual tripping in the first one, and I'll probably say that again.
Because for me, why I like that holy right ability because it's just very simple, easy to understand when you read the light novel. Like it just put it in simple terms for those for anime or needs to watch industry. It's just like One Punch Man, like just one hit button. Like for
hit to win.
Yeah, one hit to win because it doesn't require like the too strong or maybe too weak to defeat opponent. That's all. Yeah. That's how you simplify holy right. But I know there's more into it, but I want to put it in one term. Yeah.
For me, I think I don't remember what I answered last time. I may have said something like vector control, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I like vector controls as well.
Yeah, though I think thinking about it more, if we're including like weapons and stuff, there's a lot of things. Sort of the archetype controller would be a cool thing to have, just because of how that works, and or like maybe like some magic god phase altering abilities. There's a lot of like things on the magic side that are like super overpowered, but are just sort of harder to quantify what you could do with them, or like it's sort of like so much power that you wouldn't know what to do with. But yeah, probably something along those lines is my more current thought.
I'm quite interested about the archetype controller because we haven't really seen much of it. I mean, we don't really know exactly what it is. Like, was it explained to be Alistair's like magic ability, or is it a piece of equipment? I think
it was. Let me double check.
Yeah, because I think it wasn't explicitly stated. I think and he never actually uses it in a fight. I mean, he uses it on Kihara Enshu in the jail thing, but and having that ability, like something that powerful, you'd think he'd use it in fights, but he doesn't. And it's always something that's intrigued me about him because Alice is my favorite character, and I'm like, I was thinking like, what the hell is the archetype controller exactly? Because I mean, maybe he doesn't want to abuse it or something. Maybe there's limitations. I like more information about it.
Yeah, however, it's just allowing him to control archetypes, a psychological concept on a common understanding or sense of values that developed as each member of a race or group dealt with an identical problem in the same way. So I'm imagining it sort of be like you could rewrite everything, like a stereotype, like Americans like hamburgers. You could just change that to Americans like sushi by default. And suddenly American culture has changed forever. Like you can change cultures on the fly. So that's sort of how I imagine.
Oh no!
Putting it.
Yeah, I guess Alistair, once he got out of the tube, he didn't want to mess up with the world too much after that. So maybe that's why he wasn't abusing it as much. I don't know.
Did he got anything to say?
Yeah. My favorite power. I mean, I probably have like 3.
Whatever Gunha has.
Well, yeah, that's one of them. I mean, as I said before, I'm kind of like a big fan of hype stuff. And like, I mean, some people think it's underwhelming, but I love Imagine Breaker. Like, some people say it destroys the point of having such a cool power system because it breaks like every power and it ends up in the fist fight. But I love like this underdog feeling that the Imagine Breaker fights provide. So yeah, that's one of my favorites.
That's what makes it like for the first like starting out of Index like is unique because you see many like series like overpowered characters, OP main characters. Like for Index series, like you start out small first, like you struggle your way up, and in many situations.
Yeah. I love Gunha's power, of course, because it's like so shonen. Like you take
No shit, no
don't
shit.
you punch from a
I think
Like
that's how Kamachi.
like Kamachi
Shonen
Isekai,
about the
Gunha.
I think that's what Kamachi said. He wrote Gunha to be like a shonen protagonist.
yeah.
He doesn't need training though. All he needs is guts.
Unfortunately, he's in the light novel and the manga, not shonen manga. Unfortunately, so he can't shine. He can't shine in there. Yeah.
And then like if I had to say one more, I mean honorable mentions would be Lightning God Thor and World Rejector, but
Mm.
Oh yeah,
my
Thor is very unique as well, but no spoilers. But
my best like power apart from Imagine Breaker and Gunhar's guts would be Almighty Thor. Like the way it works, I mean, the effect is pretty cool, but the way it's explained makes it like 1,000 times better, I think.
I agree.
So yeah,
Like it's different from the actual Marvel Thor. Like it's just lightning, but in the To Aru Thor is more unique.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not just about lightning. It's just about it's something more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we will not go in details into that, so it will spoil for the others. Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I'm sort of
worries.
surprised no one said precognition.
Oh yeah, I really like it as well.
yeah.
Like I said, there's too many to list down. So
Very
I
true.
mean, precognition kind of goes hand in hand with Imagine Breaker being that hype.
Mhm.
yeah,
Because, like, if Toma didn't have precognition, he wouldn't use Imagine Breaker the way he does.
agree. Because in the
Yeah.
anime, it doesn't shown like the precognition well. Like because it doesn't really show at all. Like 0% like for the anime only.
Yeah.
There's that one time against Fiamma, like
Be-
when he's canceling out the kind of beam, and he tries to cut him with the big sword, and there's
because
this
like
slow motion.
human reaction, like you can't react to lightning or fast moving pace like the supernatural. For how precognition works, like it reacts against supernatural's abilities lah. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's it for that question.
Pretty much. Someone's asking something about GT. How much do you think Tema will suffer in GT? Well, we can't be sure because we're not Kamachi.
Agree.
I mean, he really went at it in GT2. No spoilers.
I really like GT2 a lot.
Yeah, it's a different
For the new part. I will not spoil about that.
Yeah. Yeah, can't really go much into GT without spoilers, and I don't know if we're really doing spoilers.
Yeah. Vivex, I think you'll be good at this one. What YouTuber do you think makes the best To Aru Mads?
Sorry again? Like
Well, I think
we should
I'm not
expand
sure
it
if
to
it-
like Billy too.
Yeah, I think because YouTuber limits it down quite a bit. Yeah, who do you think makes the best To Aru Mads? Like, I'm not familiar with like all of them. So.
the question like who makes the best To Aru Mads, right? Is it?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
question?
yeah.
Personally, I don't pay attention to that. I just see like Nico video upload like map videos like okay, I just upload. But no thinking, no thinking allowed.
Fair enough. Yeah, from what I've seen,
because I see good
Yeah.
ones, I just upload them. But
understandable.
but props to them, like big shout out to them. I really love all their maps. Like they are very talented people. Like because not many because like English for the English To Aru English fandoms, like is like no one do at all. Yeah, so it's kind of sad personally.
Mhm.
Yeah, they only for the English fans they only do AMVs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think I can't remember like a lot of names, but ones that spring to mind are like Etoli or something like that. And Mshal, I like them. They made a few of the New Testament ones, but yeah.
Like, yeah, I used to know one person like who do for the English fans, like she does AMV like in on the YouTube. I really like her work, but unfortunately she AMI. Yeah.
My favorite is Zawex.
No, I'm not. I don't make them. I don't make, but I'm planning to make one. It's still in progress though.
Oh, cool.
But not really the MAD kind of quality. Just simple work.
Old school.
Work. Maybe. It's just like 1 minute plus video. It's like 70% done now. I kind of procrastinating for a few weeks now, so not really confirmed. Yeah.
Okay. We'll do one last question and call it a day. So, how did you all get into the anime? I think we answered similar question previously, but yeah. So, I basically got into it because I was on this like Facebook anime group, and people were talking about Accelerator, and I basically got curious about the character after that, and I did research a bit, and then I got into Index. As a result, the anime at least, and yeah, light novel is different because yeah, I heard light novels way better, and then eventually got into that like a year or so after. So yeah, that was my case.
For me, it was either late 2008, early 2009, depending on whenever the sister arc started. It was the fan subs. I just saw a picture of it, and I wanted to know why a nun was wearing a white habit, so I started watching it. And just sort of stuck with it since. So.
All right.
Yeah, your turn. Because I think I already explained how I get into 2 hour series, like since 2008. Like yeah. That's where I watched anime first. Yeah, I already explained all that. Then how I got into light novel, I already explained that. Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about.
No worries.
Yeah.
Well, go on.
But
I think that's it's just you now, Didi.
All right. Well,
yeah. It's your turn.
I don't really remember how I got in, but I have this kind of memory of like being in my pajamas, binge watching Index, then Railgun, and I think I found it on like some kind of list, like 15 anime like this one, or 15 supernatural anime or something, and I gave it a try, and that's how I watched the anime.
All right, cool. I think we'll call it a day.
All right.
Thanks, guys, for coming along.
This is surprisingly my first podcast.
Yeah, you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoy it because it's a fresh experience.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, and because I reveal my real voice in real life in public now. Everyone will know. Oh no! Okay.
Well, you sound fine, so don't worry about that. Yeah.
No, just kidding.
No worries. But yeah, it's been great to have you all on, especially you, Zyvex. It's nice to have you on for the first time, and of course the
surprisingly did well. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you should have more confidence in yourself. You need more guts.
Well, because I have experience talking with friends in real life, so yeah, it helps in here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have anything to say before you go, but definitely check out Zyvex's channel if you like To Aru Mads. I'm sure you probably come across
I
it already.
also hold a Facebook page like To Aru Universe. I'm the manager of there. Yeah.
Yes, I've included that link in the description. I came prepared.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
No worries. Just give To Aru Universe a like on Facebook if you haven't already. You're nearly at 100,000 likes, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it reached 100K followers. Yeah.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I worked hard for it, along with the other admins as well. A big shout out to them. Yeah, because I can't really do this alone. Yeah, like I said, it's a small community. Yeah, one person alone cannot really handle the franchise to unite everyone. Yeah, you need work as a team. Yeah, that's my take of advice if you want to do. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all's work with just keeping the franchise and the community going.
I try to reduce the toxicity, like no shipping posts allowed, for like making a rules, yeah, so that everyone have a great time and for a healthy community and so on. Yeah, that's all.
May it continue.
Yeah. I try my...
novels. It shall.
Yeah.
As long as yeah. Wait, hear me for a second. Anyway, yes, thanks all for coming. I'll keep you updated about what I'm going to do next on Twitter. So if you want updates about new videos, follow me on Twitter down in the description. Give Didi some subscribers. Didi wants to get to 1,000 subscribers, so help him out.
Yay.
He makes great videos. Give that man some respect. Malcolm doesn't make many YouTube videos. I don't think he's made one. But give him a follow on Twitter regardless.
I plan on making some in the future. It's just right now I just need things to calm down in my own life.
No worries, that's fine. Everyone has had a pretty eventful year in 2020, and it gets worse and worse. But
do stay home safely and take care of your health, everyone. Yeah,
definitely positive vibes from everywhere in the world. Stay safe. Hope you all doing well. Remember, us To Aru fans need to stick together. If you ever feel down, just talk about Index, and I'm sure you'll feel better about yourself. I certainly have done anyway. Okay, thanks guys. See you all next time. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.